button. Test? Okay, cool.
Test.
Hello. Okay, cool.
Hi.
All right, we did it. We did it, everybody. We did it on time also. I was doing something with this. Got to put this on this button. Boom. Okay, cool. And now I can hit this button and hit this button. Boom.
Oh, hell yeah.
Actually, I'm going to go full screen for the first section.
Oh.
All right. Honey Badger, what's up?
What's up?
Thanks
Test.
for testing it for us.
We see your chat. Unless he was making fun of us. Were we,
Probably.
were our mics hot when we were saying
Yeah.
test? Oh,
Yeah, correct. All right. Ta-da. Cool. I feel... Oh, actually, I need...
I'm going to
Give
eat
me
one of these
this.
espresso beans. Oh.
Yeah. It gotcha.
I felt it.
It's like a quick shot of...
It was like a jolt.
Yeah. Feel the caffeine.
Oh, yeah.
Danger Ranger. Hello.
Sounds good. Good.
We're just drinking our coffees. There's alcohol in them, though.
At 10 p.m.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, this is surely a mistake.
Oh, yeah.
But
I mean,
I
I need it.
I slept kind of poorly, but you, got up early, right?
I got up early and I slept poorly.
Mm.
I just kept waking up.
All right. You ready to get started?
Mm-hmm.
Let's do it. If I hit this button. Nice. I like when buttons work. Okay. Let's get going, guys. Welcome to our stream. If you're here on, we got Honey Badger Danger Ranger here on Twitch. If you're watching us on X/Twitter or YouTube, welcome. Let's get going. We're going to start off with our news, and then we're going to record our last Where's Mephisto episode on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Yes.
And then we can move on to other things.
Like Wolverine.
Yeah, for sure. All right, let's go. Welcome to news from the Phantom Zone, where we bring you some of what happened this week in movie news. My name is Arnaldo. I'm your host, and I'm joined by...
Birdo.
We never say that because this is like a Patreon thing.
Yeah,
But-
you already know who we are.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get going. Number 1. Sebastian Stan will not return for Captain America 4.
Probably because he is in the Thunderbolts.
Yeah, but he could have done both. There's probably a story reason.
Probably.
Or they made a story reason, maybe because of scheduling.
What comes out first, Captain America or Thunderbolts?
These are all things I should know.
What if he dies in Thunderbolts?
It's probably Captain America because Captain America was... I mean, everything was pushed around, but
everything was like kind of swapped around too.
Captain America is filming and has been filming.
So Thunderbolts just started filming
yesterday or something.
Not too. Florence Pugh actually just made like a video update.
That's
on
our
it.
next thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I kind of think that sucks because I know like Marvel characters, like whatever, they bounce around, but like he is kind of the Captain America character now. Not the character,
right.
but he's the kind of a big character for that franchise.
And I do wish that like Bucky and Sam had more. Like I know they had their show together. I have my problems with that show though, just in how it was structured and COVID stuff and all that.
That's COVID's fault,
right?
It's not the show's fault.
I know, but like them together though, I liked.
Yeah,
they're
great.
They had some pretty good chemistry. Even like their short scenes in like Civil War.
Oh yeah,
they're pretty good.
Oh yeah. Anthony Mackie agrees with you. He expressed disappointment that they were not doing a second season of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. He really wanted another season of that. He said, The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I really enjoyed doing that show. I was actually excited to do a second season just so me and Sebastian could get paid to hang out. Because it's like me, him, and Daniel Burrell. It's kind of the perfect storm of happiness.
Oh, wow.
I like that these guys like enjoy working together.
Yeah.
That's fun.
What's interesting about like them not doing a season 2 though is I was looking at, there's a steelbook coming out soon for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
It says the complete first season on the steelbook.
Yeah. Well,
so that's a little weird.
Yeah. I wish they would. I know like...
But it also says it for Moon Knight, which gives me happiness.
Yeah. Like I know that Marvel's trying to, kind of pick their projects a little bit more carefully.
We're
which
trying
is
to dial it back a little bit, which is smart.
Which is fine. I wish that, but I enjoyed Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I think it has its story issues, but all the character stuff is really solid. And I could have done with some more of that. And I mean, I enjoyed it for what it is as a transition to Captain America 4.
Right.
Otherwise, it's a lot better than like if Captain America 4 started and what's his name? Anthony Mackie's character, Sam Wilson. And Sam Wilson's just like, oh yeah, since last time I'm Captain America now.
Previously in the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And you're just like, oh, that just happened really quickly. Like you didn't want to be Captain America before. What happened in the interim? There was a whole 6-episode thing. And so that didn't exist. And like,
but I feel like even then you maybe don't necessarily have to watch Falcon and Winter Soldier because it's still Endgame kind of ends with Steve being like, but you're going to be the next Captain America.
Right.
So the only stuff you'll be missing, I think, honestly, Thunderbolts might be going off of more Falcon and Winter Soldier stuff
than Cap, you think?
Yeah.
Well, it's just my point is it's better than like a quick, It's kind of like you remember in Doctor Strange 2 when he's like, oh yeah, I've been fighting this guy all the time. You just didn't see it.
Oh, when we got the just like, oh yeah, what's
his name?
Mordo,
yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he's just been after me this whole time.
When?
Right.
We didn't see it.
I kind of wish they just kept the cut scene where Scarlet Witch kills him.
I don't think I've seen that.
Well, I don't think it was filmed. It was. There was like.
I don't think I've heard of it.
Concept art of it though.
Oh, interesting.
Where it's like I guess near the beginning of the movie, Mordo comes and tries to kill Wanda. Since he's going around killing sorcerers, and then she kills him, and then later when Doctor Strange goes to like confront her, she like shows him Mordo's head.
Ew.
I'm like that would have been kind of cool. It would have been very Sam Raimi.
Yeah, I think I see why they cut it. It makes her look extra evil instead of just kind of like. I don't know. Like,
I mean, she's
not evil.
She did some pretty evil shit in that movie.
Yeah, but she's not decapitating people.
She ripped Xavier's face in half.
I guess you're right. But okay. Well, anyway.
She turned Jim Halpert into spaghetti.
That is true. So Sebastian Stan will be returning as Bucky Barnes in Thunderbolts, which is our next story. Thunderbolts begins filming and has a new title, sort of, asterisk. It just has an asterisk at the end.
What does that mean?
I don't know, but it is official because...
That's interesting.
Okay, so in this picture Florence Pugh recorded a behind-the-scenes video in costume on the set in Atlanta, and she shows director Jack Schreier and the director's chair that he's sitting on plus the one next to it, which is the one in this picture.
Right.
It's got a new logo. Right, because they're always doing that. They show one logo for like when they're like, when they announce the movie.
They change the titles a lot too.
Yeah, they're always gonna change the logo like 3 times before the
Civil
movie comes
War
out.
Was called the Serpent Society.
No, that wasn't official though.
That was like a working title.
Oh, okay.
I think that was Civil War. Maybe that was Winter Soldier. I don't remember.
I don't know about
that. A long time ago.
So she says, here on the chair, and unfortunately the picture cuts it out. There's an asterisk next to Thunderbolts. And then when Marvel Studios, the Twitter account, shared her video, they typed it out. So Thunderbolts asterisk. So that's official title, which is funny, weird. I don't know. It might be like
You think this is going for like the Suicide Squad vibes?
Yeah, I think they have like a really unofficial kind of grouping, I don't think it's like the Thunderbolts isn't a real thing, it's like Thunderbolts asterisk or something. I don't know,
maybe someone's trying to make them the Thunderbolts and it's not working. I don't know.
I think it's interesting. I like that idea. I've never seen an asterisk before in a movie title, so why not? So I hope for this one because this looks fun with all these kind of misfit characters, right?
Yeah.
The Empire State Building strikes back, baby. So Darth Vader has taken over the Empire State Building. This was a little under a week ago in order to promote something Star Wars. Hayden Christensen was on hand on Thursday to kick off a Star Wars takeover of New York City's famed Empire State Building. Christensen, who was recently returned to the franchise as Anakin Skywalker in the Disney Plus series Obi-Wan Kenobi and Ahsoka, was joined by his alter ego Darth Vader and a squad of stormtroopers for the launch of the building's March to May the 4th campaign.
You think they're going to announce something big on May the 4th?
Nah, I think this is just for some, I don't know. It's just kind of like, it reminds me of when M&M's go Star Wars and, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think it's a big deal.
It's just a fun thing.
Yeah, I just think it's really fun.
It is cool.
They projected like scenes from various movies with Darth Vader and the Empire on it on the whole fucking building,
which is crazy.
Yeah, this is like the third tallest building in America. Like, yeah, it's crazy that they can do this. It's probably laser projectors, in order to be able to do that from so far away, like in a bright sky like that, and make it look good.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's insane.
Oh, Philly's coming in hot with the hot take.
Empire's like the 4th best Star Wars movie. Okay, wow. Jeez. But oh yeah, and I sent this in the Discord for Philly specifically because Darth Maul was on it too. They had scenes from that, and then like they're doing for like a whole month or so. They're doing up on the observation deck. There's like a bunch of Empire Star Wars stuff that you can take pictures with and shit.
That's pretty cool.
It's pretty neat. Yeah,
I'm going to New York City tomorrow. No.
I was like, why didn't you tell me that, dude? Well, welcome to the chat, Philly.
The 4th best. What the hell is better than it?
He's gonna be like all 3 prequels.
Like, oh no.
and then he's probably like, it's probably between like Empire and like Rogue One or something.
Or Solo for the Darth Maul cameo alone.
Pirates of the Caribbean is rebooting officially.
Okay.
So at first there was talk that they would do a 6th one with Margot Robbie. She'd be like the lead, and then Johnny Depp would also be there.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, they spoke to Jerry Bruckheimer, the producer of these films, and he was asked about the next Top Gun and Pirates films, and he said it's hard to tell. You don't know. You really don't know. You don't know how they really come together. You just don't know. God damn, this is very repetitive.
He says he doesn't know a lot.
And then he says, because with Top Gun, you have an actor who is iconic and brilliant, and how many movies he does before Top Gun, I can't tell you. Meaning, Tom Cruise's schedule is kind of an issue, right?
Right.
Getting his schedule just right before they can figure out when the next Top Gun is. He goes on to say, but we're going to reboot Pirates, so that is easier to put together because you don't have to wait for certain actors.
Why a reboot, though? Why not just like, this is still in the same universe, it's just a different cast?
I don't know. They're just going hard reboot.
Because
I don't.
Could be good.
The thing is like, and then like in the comments, I saw like everyone getting upset because it's not gonna have Johnny Depp in it. Like, I get
Johnny
it.
Depp
like,
couldn't say 4 or 5.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Have we forgotten that 4 and 5 were like really bad? How quickly we forget. You know. Yeah, like I thought the first 3 are great because they have this really chaotic energy, and
everybody's betraying each other.
Yeah. And like
no one's on the same page.
Right. And Jack Sparrow is not the main character in any of those movies. He's just the chaotic wild card who's like just present.
He's important to the plot in 2 of the 3 movies.
But he's not the protagonist.
Oh no, that's
Will and the girl. Like they're the central characters, and he's like the crazy. He's the wild card.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, he can move the plot, but like he's not the central figure.
And when they tried to make him the central
story
figure in
reasons,
the 4th one, that's
wasn't. Where it doesn't work anymore.
Yeah.
If he's the one responsible for moving the plot and being our surrogate, then I don't think it works anymore because you lose that chaos.
He's also not relatable.
Yeah. I think that's definitely it too. The 5th one, I don't remember much of it. I just remember being angry in the theater because I hated it so much.
Oh, that's how I felt about the 4th one. The 5th one, I was fine. I was overall fine with. I didn't like it, but I wasn't like, this sucks either. That's how I was with the 4th one. I was like, this is bad.
Yeah, but it's like, because they're starting the 4th Jurassic World movie also. It's like, just like,
I feel like that story's over.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, do we have to keep making these movies? Like, I understand that. Okay, they're making money.
I'm fine with more Jurassic, like, movies, but like this plot line that they were doing in Jurassic World, like that's done. Like,
yeah,
just do something new. But also, how many parks can you open?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like just let's move on to the next big thing. You know what I mean? And like, I don't feel like these universes, like Jurassic Park being one of them, and like Pirates of the Caribbean, I don't think they're universes that like have that kind of
where you can just continue
creative range that could just go on in perpetuity like Marvel, DC, Star Wars can. You know what I mean? Like I hate to say, like, other than like Marvel, DC, Star Wars, like you kind of can't.
It's
like,
hard to expand those universes because I don't know why.
What are we gonna do? Like have a different team of pirates? Like I don't know.
You could do that.
Not, I don't.
There's no reason why you can't.
Just do something else, I think.
I mean, I'm down to just see a fun swashbuckling pirate movie though. Reboot or not.
Yeah, let's see.
I think there's still a market for that.
Philly says back on this conversation that he thinks that Sith, Phantom Menace, and Rogue One are all better. See,
I think none of those are better.
I fucking told you. That's what he'd say.
Phantom Menace. Wow.
That's a real take, man. Speaking of franchises that won't die, Star Trek 4 is still active.
I'm actually happy about this though.
Did you see Beyond? I didn't see Beyond.
I have not seen Beyond.
Oh, see, I heard Beyond is pretty good.
Yeah, because 2 is like, eh. 1 was, I thought 1 was great.
I thought so too. I've heard one, like, diehard Star Trek fans hate these movies because they think it's like the Star Warsification of Star Trek.
Maybe it is a little bit.
And maybe that's why, like, we gravitated towards those.
Right. But I still thought it was like, and to calm them the fuck down, it's been established that this is an alternate timeline in the first movie.
Yeah, it's just
but it's still canon.
Yeah.
Which is
weird. What I don't understand about being upset about any of this is that, like, in 2009 when the first Star Trek film came out,
right?
In this continuity, Star Trek was like all but dead.
Oh yeah, there was like
one active TV show. It was,
I don't even think it was an active,
or maybe
TV
not.
Show. I think the newest one was Star Trek Enterprise still, and that had already been done for a while.
Yeah, Star Trek was like dead in the water. So it's like it kind of
it revitalized.
It definitely rejuvenated interest in Star
Trek. Very well right now.
That's what I'm saying. Like now, there's like 4 shows going on at the same time.
There's an animated show that people love.
Yeah.
Apparently, Strange New Worlds is very good. I have not seen it.
There's also Picard.
I heard that one's like.
I heard people that like it really like it,
and people that don't really don't. It's kind of like an Obi-Wan Kenobi type deal,
right?
Yeah.
So.
But I might start watching Strange New Worlds.
Yeah. I mean, all I'm saying is if you're a Star Trek fan, you're eating good. So, like...
Yeah, so let us have this movie.
At this point, like, why not? Just keep making these. And they weren't going to make... Because, I mean, Star Trek has a long history of taking the TV casts and making movies out of those.
And those went from passable to horrible, generally.
Every now and then, yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like a rotation.
Yeah. It'd be a 1 and 1. But, I don't think they're doing that anytime soon with, like... any other casts, you know what I'm saying? Like, so this is fine, and I'm excited for it. I'd watch it. Script is being currently written by Steve Yockey.
Okay.
Yockey, and this is confirmed to be the final chapter of this continuity, the 2009 cast.
I do like this cast though. I think this cast is great. Excellent. Yeah. I need to watch Beyond still.
Yeah, I do too. You know what? At this point, I'll probably just like watch all 3. Yeah, because I don't really remember the first 2 that well.
The first one's a fun watch.
It's fun. Yeah. Philly says Phantom Menace is better because it kicks off My Sweet Baby Boy. You get to the entire prequel Clone Wars and Bad Batch universes.
I feel Attack of the Clones sets up Clone Wars and Bad Batch way more than Phantom Menace does.
Yeah.
I do think Phantom Menace is a better movie than Attack of the Clones, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right, last bit of news, last story. Christopher Nolan and his wife are being knighted/damed. This isn't really news. I just thought it was a bit of fun.
Just a thing that happens to famous people in England.
Yeah, they get to. If you contribute enough to like the arts, you get knighted.
Which is neat, I guess. But like,
so he'll be.
Does anybody really care about the royal family or any of that?
I think people care about the knighthood more than they do the royal family. Like they're like because they put respect on their names. I was going to be like Sir Christopher Nolan.
True. Oh, this movie is directed by Sir Christopher Nolan.
Sir Christopher Nolan, yeah.
Sir Christopher Nolan just won an Oscar recently.
Yeah. He's just getting everything.
He's having a good year.
Yeah. So he will receive a knighthood and become Sir Christopher Nolan. His producing partner and wife, Emma Thomas, will also receive a damehood.
I mean, that's good for them, though.
I like that they're giving it to her also, since they're like essentially equal partners creatively. Yeah. And like producing a movie is a shit ton of work. Mm-hmm. You know? And so I like that he also gives a lot of credit to his brother, who like writes all his movies along with him.
Yeah.
Who's an excellent writer, Jonathan.
He did a lot on Interstellar, right?
He writes all of them.
Okay.
He's written every movie with Chris Nolan.
Okay.
Every Chris Nolan movie is like written by him and his brother.
Oh, cool.
Basically.
I feel like you don't hear about his brother a lot, though. People that know, though, know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Which, I mean, yeah, writers don't really get the celebrity treatment like that.
Didn't they have another brother? Who is the one that has like another brother who's like a fugitive or something?
What?
Who am I thinking?
I have no idea.
Is that Chris Nolan?
A fugitive? Like...
Yeah, it was like a murderer or something.
What?
Or a secret agent. There's okay, hold on a second.
Secret agent?
Chris Nolan brother. Am I thinking the right... I might be thinking someone else. Hitman. He's a hitman.
He's a hitman?
I fucking shit you not, dude.
Who?
Okay, hold on. Fact check. Is Christopher Nolan's brother a suspected hitman?
Jonathan, the writer?
No, another one. In 2009, Matthew Nolan was arrested and charged with the murder of an accountant in Costa Rica.
What?
Nolan, famous for writing and directing such films as The Dark Knight, blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. Ahead of the movie's release, social media users were pointed towards outlandish claims that Nolan's brother is a hitman who often used the codename Oppenheimer.
What?
Okay, hold on a second.
Sorry about the headphone users out there, but what?
Blah, 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 blah. Where's the facts? Okay, according to court records summarized by casetext.com, Costa Rica unsuccessfully applied for Nolan to be extradited from the United States in 2009. In their records, they made a number of claims about the situation and the circumstances surrounding the guy's death. Another man was initially convicted of the murder in 2005, but the extradition court documents point to Nolan's involvement as a hired killer.
Whoa.
Costa Rica contends that someone contacted the accused, aka Nolan, for still undetermined amount of money, hired for his services, both him and his in order to later murder him. However, the evidence corroborating its assertion that he was hired they did not submit the evidence corroborating. It is not right to suggest that Nolan is a hitman or a hired killer, as he has only been accused and not found guilty. There's more evidence and testimony about his codename, though, that he seemingly did use the name usually associated with the man who invented the atomic bomb. Wow.
That his brother just made an Oscar-winning movie about.
Yeah. So that's just a pure coincidence. I guess if, like, you're a hitman and you think you're a big fucking deal, you would call yourself Oppenheimer, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Wow.
He is become death.
Yeah.
Destroyer of worlds.
Bro, he probably says that right before. Pew, pew. That's a sweet one-liner.
I mean, hey, that's pretty badass. But don't do that.
Allegedly, we should say. This is all alleged. But yeah, that's pretty fun, I guess.
What's his family think about that?
I don't know. He's a knight now, so. Anyway. All right. We kind of blazed through this one. Usually we're about a half an hour or so.
Oh, yeah.
But that's it, you guys. That's news for the week. Thank you guys for watching or listening, supporting us on Patreon, and we'll see you guys next week here on News from the Phantom Zone. Pow. All right. Unrecord. Any chats over here? No.
I don't think anybody chats on YouTube or Twitter.
I guess they don't, but like it says there's at least 4 people watching on Twitter, so
interesting.
Who knows? Yeah. Twitter's
wrecked
with
now.
bots though, so it's like who knows?
Thank you, bots.
I don't know if you saw this. This came out today that like apparently like the number of bots on Twitter has like gone up exponentially since like Elon took over.
Wow.
Which is ironic since he said like
that was his goal was to eliminate that,
mitigate the number of bots. And they've only gone up. Makes a little bit of sense when like you cut so many resources, but
that's true. There's a lot less people to
yeah,
mitigate that.
Ooh. All right, getting ready for the next thing. Let's go to our main page. Boom.
Whoa.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Let's get. I got my coffee. I got my water. I drank my coffee.
I drank my coffee. I got my water.
I'm gonna get a refill beverage, not coffee. And then we'll be right back, you guys, and we'll get going with the last episode of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Be right back.
you would really like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Supernatural.
All right, enough dawdling. Let's get going.
All right, no more dawdling.
The secret of to making the Pepsi taste like Pepsi is extra carbonation. You got to hit it a few more extra times.
True. Then it like actually tastes like a cola.
Yeah. It can't be flat.
I still need to buy the Mountain Dew shit that you can put in your soda stream.
Oh, is it really?
They have a Mountain Dew one now.
Oh, wow.
I don't think they have
Baja Blast?
Yeah.
The amount of times we talk about Baja Blast on this podcast.
There's just something about it.
It's ridiculous.
Have you had it with like a little bit of alcohol?
I've had the alcoholic Baja Blast, the ones in cans.
But like Baja Blast with like liquor in it.
No, I haven't made my own Baja Blast cocktails.
Pretty good. Tequila does go well with it, but I feel like it'd also be good with like maybe a rum. I think those flavors could blend.
Maybe
well.
it feels like a very much of a tequila thing.
I think tequila's ideal for it.
Yeah, I don't drink tequila.
Right.
Anyway, let's get some silence sample. Okay, cool. All right. Wow. All right, guys.
It's the carbonation. I'm sorry.
Let's get going. Welcome to Where's Mephisto? Your bonus. You know what? I forget. There's a fun little. Have you heard the music that I put in?
No.
You haven't heard the
Wait,
new,
yes I have.
The new Where's Mephisto music?
Oh, the new music. No.
Yeah, it's great.
I haven't heard the new music.
Last 3 episodes of Where's Mephisto has new music.
Whoa.
Do you want to hear it real quick?
Yeah, I'm not a member of our Patreon, so
I guess that's true.
Get to listen to it.
What? I'm sure I must have given you the sign on at some point.
Definitely haven't.
Okay, can you turn the speakers on so
I don't
you
even
can hear?
have the Twitch sign on.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah, don't. Let's.
No,
okay,
cool.
over. Yeah. Oh, that's the music. I forgot. We have music. Okay. Here's how Where's Mephisto sounds now. It's got this very detective-y vibe.
It sounds like a detective, like porn.
It does sound kind of. Yeah.
Welcome to Where's Mephisto, your bonus
It's fun though.
where you watch whatever's currently streaming
And then
as the
I leave it there for a second,
Where is Mephisto?
and then when you start talking, I fade out,
I got nothing.
Wow. Just so y'all know.
and then that fades out.
Imagine I got nothing record scratch.
Yeah. So anyway, that's how Where's Mephisto goes now.
Okay, cool.
It's cool, right?
Yeah.
I could, you know what? Now that you mention it, because I have thought about that, I'm like, it does sound kind of porny with like 70s porn with the. Like maybe I can find another sample where it's not doing that.
I think like a good inspiration for it would be like the intro music for the Jessica Jones show. Do you remember how that goes?
Yeah.
That's really good.
That hits good. Yeah, that's I think kind of what I was going for.
The porn vibes reminded me of like the Luke Cage show.
Oh yeah, well it's funky. Let's not. It's got a little bit of funk to it. Anyway, so my point is that like sometimes I come in really hot with like welcome to Where's My and I'm like no
Guns
that's
blazing.
Not, yeah that's not the vibe. I need to come on with a more NPR voice.
Yeah, we need to be like taking a drag and we're be raging alcoholics and we can never solve the case.
Yeah, okay.
We're hard boiled.
I'm gonna try that again. Welcome to Where's Mephisto, your bonus podcast where we watch whatever's currently streaming and ask the burning question on everyone's mind: where is Mephisto? Birdo.
I don't know, but I'm gonna find that son of a bitch.
All right, look, we tried. Maybe that's the vibe we start from now on to get that detective-y true crime podcast kind of sound.
Wait, let me take a drag.
Speaking of true crime podcasts, I don't have a true crime podcast to plug, but I am watching Only Murders in the Building. Have you seen that show?
No, but I've heard of it.
It's really good, and
I heard it's kind of funny.
It is funny.
Okay.
And if you like Steve Martin and Martin Short, especially as a pair, great show.
If you like Martin Short, you should watch the Santa Claus 3.
I knew you were gonna fucking do that.
Martin Short and Tim Allen in the same movie? Like, when does that ever happen?
I guess. So, but yeah, it's on Hulu. It's a Hulu original. Only Murders in the Building. Basically, Steve Martin, Martin Short, and Selena Gomez are all three strangers that live in the same building. A murder happens. They find out that all three of them are fans of the same true crime podcast. And so they kind of bond over this real quick, and then they decide to solve the murder themselves while recording their own podcast. They make their own true crime podcast about the murder they're trying to solve. So then it gets really meta, because they're talking about each other as if they're characters in a podcast when they're characters on a TV show.
Do they start to suspect each other?
A little bit, yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's actually a lot of fun. There's a couple seasons. I don't know what they're gonna do in season 2 because, the premise is that they're only solving murders in the building. Only murders in the building. We're not expanding past that. So it's like, okay,
how often are people murdered in this building?
Exactly. So it's like, so for season 2, season 3, because I think there's 3 or 4 seasons now. Like, are other people murdered in the building? Like,
whoa.
But so far, I'm really enjoying it. I was binging it earlier today. I'm gonna probably finish it.
Okay,
tomorrow.
That's
it's good.
Pretty cool.
Check it out. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Anyway, that we're not talking about Only Murders in the Building. We're talking about Avatar: The Last Airbender on Netflix, which is where we're looking for Mephisto. Usually that's what you say, but we got off the rails.
Oops.
Let's move on. We've already done. We're covering episodes 7 and 8, the 2 finale episodes. We've already done 1 through 6 in 3 parts. Part 1 was on a regular feed as a bonus, and then 1, 2, and 3 are all here on Patreon. So get caught up. But let's get going. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm not.
Oh, okay.
Episode 7, The North, directed by directed by Jet Wilkinson and written by Audrey Wong Kennedy.
Jet?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I thought the same thing. The guest cast is Amber Midthunder as Princess Yue, A. Martinez as Paku, Nathaniel Arcand or Arsand, probably Arsand, right?
I have no idea.
As Chief Arnook, Irene Bedard as Yagoda, Joel Owlett as Han, Elizabeth Yu as Princess Azula, Talia Tron as Mai, Momona Tamada as Tai Li, Mingguan Fairbrother as Avatar Kuruk, Rui Eiskender as Lieutenant G, Ryan Ma as Lieutenant Dang, and Matt Yang King as the voice of Appa and Momo. Whew, I could have probably cut that down, but you know, whatever.
The voice of Appa and Momo's in every episode.
Yeah, should be like a regular. Like, I don't know why they keep putting him as under guest. Anyway, on Zuko's ship, Lieutenant G returns with information he overheard while drinking with Zhao's Lieutenant Dang, that the Fire Lord is demanding Zuko's capture so he may stand trial for freeing the Avatar as the vigilante, the Blue Spirit. Iroh prompts Zuko to escape on a small rowboat while he may talk to Ozai, but Zuko finds blasting jelly on the boat and it explodes while he's on the water. Admiral Zhao watches from afar, revealing that he was the mastermind of the explosion and the false information from the Fire Nation. Zhao offers Iroh fake condolences, but Iroh bluffs that he thinks Ozai was behind the assassination. Zhao then informs Iroh that he's been tasked with taking a grand armada to conquer the Northern Water Tribe.
Okay. I mean, this is a scene that I feel like I've seen so many times in the past month. It's just the attempted assassination on Zuko. It's like, what? I saw it in the cartoon, I saw it in the movie, and this all within the same month.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's those parts where, like, because we did this so many times that I forget.
It's like deja vu.
Yeah, and I forget which ones did it which way, almost, you know?
Yeah.
But
in the movie, they had the weird voiceover when it happened. I remember
they did all voiceover. Nothing but voiceover. Like, there is some narration in the show, but it's not to move the plot. It's to, like, do some thematic things, right, which is really, you know, it's a layer above that, which is nice. But I like when G is like, oh, we were going over fuel usage numbers. And
like
they're just like playing cards and getting wasted.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, but I do like there's a bit of there's like a kind of a poker game going on here between Iroh and Zhao, which I thought was really fun. Because Iroh he's smart. He's smarter.
He knows Zhao did this. Yeah,
but he's kind of not saying more than he needs to, and he's bluffing, and he's kind of he's talking that it was Ozai, and
he's playing Pai Sho.
Yeah, exactly.
And
he's always
playing
Pai Sho.
checkers.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Aang and his friends establish their nickname, Team Avatar, and arrive at the Northern Water Tribe.
Not the gang.
Yeah.
Fuck.
There's I should have written down all the other nicknames in the cartoon that they go through, because it's season 2. There's an episode where Sokka is like workshopping a bunch of different nicknames for themselves.
The Boomerang Gang.
Oh yeah.
Boomerang. And then they fall on Team Avatar, right?
Yeah. By the end of the episode, it's Team Avatar. I'm glad you remembered some of those.
Yeah.
They're met with hospitality by Chief Arnook and his daughter Yue.
Fearsome Foursome was one of them.
Oh.
Sorry.
Wasn't one like Sokka and his buddies or something?
Probably.
Something to that extent. Aang tells Arnook that a battle is coming, but both Arnook and the tribe's waterbending master Paku are already aware and are looking forward to fighting with the Avatar on their side. Arnook throws Team Avatar a feast where Sokka meets Princess Yue working in the kitchen making ice cream through waterbending. The two get to know each other a bit before they're interrupted by Han.
So, people were upset that Yue was waterbending.
Why?
I guess she doesn't waterbend in the show.
So?
But it absolutely makes sense that she'd be a waterbender since the moon spirit lives inside of her body.
Right.
The origin of waterbending.
Yeah.
So I think it's a dumb thing to get upset about.
That's not what I saw. I didn't, because we've talked at length about all the little minor details that are making people upset. I didn't see that one.
Oh yeah, when she waterbended the ice, which that's like all the waterbending she pretty much does. She doesn't do much else.
She heals Momo later.
Oh, that's right.
Right. But that also makes sense. Like all the women are mostly healers, the ones that can waterbend.
Right.
There are more waterbenders in the north, and like to what you just said, she's part moon spirit. So
her waterbending's not a big deal.
And we're not explicitly told in the cartoon that Yue is not a waterbender.
We just don't see it happen.
We just don't see her waterbending. Yeah,
which is fine. But the moon water bends all the time. So
yeah. There's a weird shot in this episode with Han, when they're writing Appa and they go over the wall, Han screams, "Avatar, welcome to Agna Kella," and no, they can't hear you. You're talking to us, the audience. And there was probably 100 better ways that they could have framed that shot. To the point where he's facing the camera and Appa's still behind him. You know what I mean? I don't know if you remember the shot, but it's not
I don't
good.
remember the shot.
And they can't hear you. What are you doing? I hated that shot. And in the next scene, Han's there, and it's it could have taken you hours to get up to where you. What is this?
Do you like Han in this?
I was gonna ask you if you like Han, because you like Han in the cartoon.
I like the douchey Han that's kind of incompetent. I enjoyed that character.
Yeah.
So seeing him like this, I'm like, I don't know.
See,
he's almost too likable.
I like that though, because for it to be
I'd like for Sokka to have had some sort of rival though.
Right. No, but okay, true. This Han is no longer vying for Yue's affections. He's past it, sort of. Yeah. I think he's hung up on her a little bit, but
he's accepted that she's not interested.
It's over.
Yeah.
But to make any good love triangle interesting, you have to like all three characters to an extent, and they did make him a little more honorable and likable and less douchey and stupid.
Admiral Choi, prepare to meet your fate. He just gets thrown off the ship, and we don't see him again. Did he die? Did he drown?
He does die in this. It's It gets pretty gruesome later, but let's move on.
Yeah.
Han asks for Sokka's insight in fighting the Fire Nation, while Arnook and Pakku eagerly ask Aang for his offensive strategies. Aang cautiously admits that he can only bend air, is primarily a defensive fighter, and that he came to the north in search of a waterbending master. The leaders are disappointed, having heard stories of a great avatar who had helped many communities with his powers. Meanwhile, Katara meets Yagoda to learn water healing, as recommended by Master Pakku. There she's told that women aren't allowed to fight and only heal through waterbending. Later, she's told by Master Pakku that she cannot fight because despite having fighting experience, women are not strong enough to fight.
I mean, this is pretty in line with the original.
Yeah, no, it's good. I even I read his name. The actor who plays Pakku looks just like the cartoon.
Dead ringer. But to the point where it looked a little weird. I don't know if it was the makeup, but something looked weird about his face.
You think?
Yeah.
Was it the bald cap?
It might be the bald cap. I might have just like subconsciously been like, you don't actually look like that.
Right. We also we skipped through Yue's wig, which is not great.
The costume department did her dirty.
So I've got mixed feelings on Yue's wig because on the one hand, I don't think it's necessarily a bad wig. I think they're using it in a way that makes it look like a wig. Because
it's so stiff and
because they want it to match the cartoon. It's the same exact hairstyle from the cartoon to a T.
Right.
And it's like maybe
for whatever reason it's not doing her any favors though.
Yeah, and I think it's because the hair kind of goes down a bit and makes it look extra wig like. It kind of looks like it's a hat.
Like, hot take, I think the Yue in the movie looked better.
Right. Her hair looked natural. I think they just dyed her hair.
You're right.
Yeah. But the thing is, even if they had dyed her hair and made it look like this, it would still look like a wig because it kind of looks like, because her hair is going down and then to the side.
Right. And
you know what I mean?
It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's from the source material.
Yeah.
It maybe doesn't translate to screen that well. Maybe you should have made a few changes.
Yeah.
Like,
it's rocking a hard place.
Because we say the same thing about like superhero costumes.
Okay, I was gonna say like Dragon Ball Z hair.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z hair.
It's purely cartoon.
Right, that would never
work. Do that. Yeah.
But even like superhero costumes, you remember when they went with like a super comic accurate Captain America in the Avengers, and it's his worst costume.
Yeah. It has to look tangible in real life.
Yeah.
You can't just put the cartoon or the comic on screen one to one.
You've got to make some adjustment. I'm not saying make it look completely different.
Right.
But like some adjustments make it look natural.
Yeah.
Like, because I get what they were doing.
Yeah.
I just don't think it looks good.
Again, you can either make it look like the cartoon or you can make it look real.
Right.
Sometimes those things go hand in hand, but other times like you might have to make a decision. So, look, I'm not gonna fault them for it. It's whatever, they tried.
It was distracting though, I will say.
It was a little bit. Yeah, I won't lie. Oh shit.
Oh, did you lose a paragraph?
I did. There was a lot of editing here, so I think maybe this was always supposed to be deleted. Let me make sure.
Yeah.
Is it in there?
At the top of this paragraph. Yue reveals to Sokka that they met before.
Okay, yeah. So this is nothing then. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Okay. Sokka learns from Han that he and Princess Yue were once betrothed until Yue broke it off. Later, Yue takes Aang to Avatar Kuruk's shrine. She tells him Kuruk's memory is mostly forgotten. He was an absent Avatar who spent most of his life in the spirit world. Aang meditates and communes with Kuruk, who tells Aang that if Kyoshi showed him a vision of the North being destroyed, then it will definitely happen, though the outcome of the battle is still uncertain. Aang asks Kuruk to use his body and fight the Fire Nation like Kyoshi did, but Kuruk angrily admits that he cannot do that. He tells Aang that he spent his life in the spirit world battling dark spirits from entering the human world. As a result, his body and soul are too damaged to enter the Avatar state. He even lost his beloved Umi to the predatory spirit Ko. His last piece of advice is that the Avatar must walk alone, or else his loved ones will suffer. There is no team Avatar.
Yeah, Kuruk is very bitter in this.
Super bitter. I mean, he wasn't. Okay, so like this is taking mostly original, right?
Mostly, yeah.
But it is taking a bit from the finale of the TV show where he goes and he talks to the last 4 avatars.
Yeah.
And Kuruk tells him basically this too. That he has to walk alone.
He tells him that he has to walk alone, yeah, but it expanded upon it, and it seems like it changed his character a bit. Like this is more of a like not warmongering, but he's very aggressive in this. Whereas in the cartoon, he explicitly states, "It's like, oh yeah, throughout my life, like I was like, I was just kind of relaxed. I was a chill dude.
He was laid back.
Yeah,
he was just surfing all the time
until the Ko thing happened, and then
I kind of like that they're clearing his name a little bit in this. At least they're adding more nuance to it.
Yeah,
because in the cartoon, it's kind of understood that like he was nothing. It was a boring time.
There was just nothing going on.
He didn't have to do much, and he was pretty laid back, laissez-faire. Just everyone be cool, right?
Yeah.
He was like the cool substitute teacher avatar. And then in this are like, like he didn't do much is what the humans think, but that's because he was in the spirit world all the time.
Right. They're just like, we just never saw him.
Yeah. And they some people harbor like a light resentment towards Kuruk for like being absent.
Well, similar to how people, I guess Boomy has a resentment towards Aang.
Yeah. But there's more to it. And okay, maybe those two things connect a little bit where it's like
maybe there's
there's more to it than just that.
Yeah.
And in the next episode, there's a lot of like Katara kind of talking to Aang, even though he can't hear her, but it's a spiritual thing, right? And and she's like, "You didn't," because he harbors a lot of guilt for that.
Yeah,
right, and that's the payoff moment.
Right? A lot of it because of Boomy.
Right,
Boomy kind of fucked him up.
Okay, well, no,
yeah.
Kyoshi said the same thing. Kuruk said the same thing. Everyone told, even Roku, who's being polite, is like, "Hey, I thought I'd see you a long time ago," Everyone's kind of giving him a hard time for being gone. It's feeding into his guilt, and then at the end, we're getting ahead of ourselves. But at the end, Katara's like, if you hadn't frozen for 100 years and you wouldn't be here right now in this moment, we need you now, here, now.
Right.
Like that was not a mistake.
Forget about the past.
Yeah.
Like things happen for a reason.
Right.
Roll with it.
That's Aang's character arc in this. So, but this kind of goes back to kind of one of the central themes of Avatar, which is found family, right, and teamwork and friendship. And even though everyone keeps telling him you can't have a family, you can't have friends, you have to be alone, that is the burden of the Avatar, he just kind of refuses to believe that, Yeah. So I like that. It's very Harry Potter. While Aang talks to Kuruk, Yue reveals to Sokka that they've met before as the fox in the spirit world. She explains that she was born very sick and on the verge of death. Her father asks the spirits for help, and the moon spirit lent its essence to heal her. This turned her hair gray and allowed her to visit the spirit world in her dreams. Sokka shares how he dislikes the spirit world, which is scary, and makes him relive his worst memories. Yue assures Sokka that when they met in the spirit world, all she noticed was his good heart.
Aww.
I really like Sokka's arc in this season a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Sokka and Zuko have the two best things going on character-wise.
Yeah. Maybe it's because, I don't know, maybe it's because we relate to them as dudes, but like it's that part of growing up where you kind of figure out what does it mean to be like a man?
Yeah.
Like what
am I supposed to do?
Is it the expectation set in front of you by your dad? Or is it kind of the thing that you create yourself, right? Your own. Are you creating your own destiny, or are you just living the one that someone else sets in front of you?
It's a lot like the little character arc that Miles goes through in Into the Spider-Verse.
Okay.
With the whole like the expectations of your father, and,
right?
Like, what do you?
Yeah.
Who do you want to become?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see it.
Yeah.
In the Fire Nation, Fire Lord Ozai forces Azula to undergo rigorous trials to prove her worth. She eventually breaks and refuses to participate in one of her father's challenges, instead showing him her ability to generate lightning, which Ozai seems pleased with.
It's very brief, but there's a little spark there. Yeah.
No, it's for a few. It lingers for a while.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then she shoots. She fucking destroys the building behind him.
Oh, that's true. She does do that.
And he's like, yeah.
It's like, I knew you were my favorite.
Yeah. So this actually takes place over like 3 different scenes, but this is like a C plot going on in the background. Where earlier, in one of them, like, you know, she's just being beat beat to her core. Like, she's miserably exhausted of this, and she's very frustrated, and she's complaining to
May
and Ty Lee, who I think it's not the first time we see them.
I think we only see them like twice, though. They're only in like 2 scenes. Yeah.
What do you think of them?
I think the little bit we've seen of them, I think they have the mannerisms of their characters down.
Yeah, same.
I think the hair and makeup department didn't really do them many favors.
Do you think?
Yeah, it's like the outfits look like kind of too big on. It's just something's really weird about their costumes.
I mean, Ty Lee's like, she's a dead ringer. Like, she looks pretty spot on. And hers is like, her costume's a little bit lighter. May's is a little like heavy.
Right, and it looks a little awkward. It's another one of those things where it's like maybe that doesn't work in live action.
Yeah, maybe.
But we'll see.
Also, like, they didn't have to put so like you mentioned that, and they didn't have to put that much shit on May.
There's just too much shit on her.
There's too much shit on her. Because like
it looks like it's like weighing her down.
Like, she looks like she's wearing like armor. Like, what are you doing? Where's she going? You know,
it's like, how is she gonna like
Yeah.
throw things and stuff with wearing all that? I don't know. Like
in the cartoon, she's like basically just wearing like a black robe or something. Like,
right.
It doesn't look heavy at all. Like,
no, but in the show it looks so heavy. It looks like there's so much
heavy.
shit on her.
We did too much.
Like, I don't know. I'm hoping they improve that when we actually see them like in action.
Yeah, at least for May, right?
Yeah.
And Azula, like we see her do some fighting, but like she looks like she's wearing a lot of shit too.
Yeah. And I remember what I was thinking about where it just shows a little bit of it. It was the blue fire where you just see like hints of it. Yeah.
So that was earlier when in one of these scenes you just see a little blue fire.
She was like pissed off and then
we had mentioned it earlier in another episode where like some of the complaints were like she's not bending blue fire.
Not yet.
This is all bonus coverage.
I'm pretty sure even in the flashbacks in the cartoon, her fire was orange, right?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Because that's something I looked out for when I was watching this last time.
What the fuck?
Yeah. This is her backstory. This is bonus content, right?
Right. Like, chill out.
There's also a part where like Ozai is just not talking to her. And like all the aides, his aides are the ones like communicating.
He's like, hey, go tell Azula this.
Yeah, he like whispers to him, and he's like, "The Fire Lord is displeased with you." It's like, dude, come on.
You won't even talk to his own daughter. Like, come on, dude.
But and we mentioned it before, but I like that he's just pitting his kids against each other, just putting them through the ringer, just like out of the crucible, seeing what comes out. You know, creating little monsters is what he's doing.
Yeah. Or trying to.
He's a real piece of shit.
Yeah, the Fire Lord's kind of the worst.
Zhao and Iroh approach the Northern Water Tribe, where Iroh urges Zhao to take more caution than attacking the impenetrable fortress city head-on. Iroh then shares his information with a masked guard, who is revealed to be Zuko in disguise, having survived Zhao's explosion.
And they actually show him in disguise in this, unlike the movie.
Yeah, where he's just like standing there, and you're like, where'd you come from?
Why are you standing there with like no disguise on the Fire Nation ship? Like, what are you doing?
If you didn't listen to that episode of the Last Airbender on the regular podcast, his helmet's on the side,
but it's like out of frame
slightly. Yeah, which means that they filmed a longer scene and they just cut it down for time because a lot of that movie was cut down for time to 90 minutes, right?
Yeah, because it was his instinct to do that.
Exactly.
Oh, fuck off, man.
This has one of my favorite jokes in this whole show, which Iroh's like, what's the plan? Like, do you have a plan, Zuko? And Zuko's just like, yeah, I'm going to like restore my honor. I'm going to capture the Avatar. And
he's like, so you don't have a plan?
I'm working on it, Uncle. And when he said Uncle like that, I'm like, that's Zuko. Like, you've nailed it. Like, you are Zuko.
And he like kind of looks away from him.
He's like, Like, come on.
Like he's embarrassed.
Yeah.
I love it.
He's spot on.
This guy, what's his name? Dallas Liu.
Dallas Liu, yeah.
He's great.
He's great. I can't wait to see him kind of grow into that character.
Yeah.
Shit, I was gonna say something else here.
I can't wait till he cuts off his ponytail and puts it down the river.
Yeah.
That's pretty early in book 2, right?
Yeah, it's like episode 1, which sets up the book 2.
Yeah.
It's because they get captured by Azula and then they have to run away. I hope they put that in the show because that is such a good moment because tensions are high.
They finally come face to face with each other.
They don't trust Azula.
No.
Azula's there and they're like, Azula's giving him bullshit information. He's like, your dad wants you back home. And he's like, but really? Like, I just failed. You know what I mean?
Like, Azula always lies.
Yeah, Azula lies. And then they're on the boat and one of the guards fucks up and he's like, oh, the prisoners. And then they all look at each other like, oh, fuck. Referring
and
to
Azula
Iroh
gets pissed.
Then they like fight their way off.
Yeah.
They hide. They cut their ponytails off. Throw
and
it in
send
the
it
river.
down the river.
Symbolically getting rid of those identities.
Arculus said I should cut off my ponytail when that happens. I'm not doing that.
Could you imagine if like you were Prince Zuko again for like Halloween and for your performance you cut your ponytail off? Like
I better fucking win.
Seriously.
I can't believe I won last year. That was great.
Who were you last year?
Ghostface.
Oh,
yeah. It was the performance.
It was the performance because the costume was basic.
Yes, but
because that's what Ghostface is. He's basic.
Right. And I called it out in my performance.
Yeah. It was good.
It was very meta. Oh, my God. I should write Scream movies.
I mean, Scream 7's in a lot of trouble.
They got Nev Campbell back. But, that's all their budget, though.
Yeah. When Katara complains to Aang about not being allowed to fight, Aang sides with Pakku. The battle will be dangerous, and as the Avatar, he may need to fight the Fire Nation alone.
He's listening to fucking Karuk right now.
Yeah, he's listening to 3 Avatars.
I guess 3. What do they know? They're all dead.
Yeah, they are dead. Fuck them. I do like, in the next episode, Katara's like, fuck those people. They're the past, man. You're the future. Like, you do whatever you want.
Yeah.
The battle will be... Okay, right. Sokka, however, encourages her, having come a long way from the Southern Water Tribe. Katara challenges Pakku to a duel. Pakku wins, but congratulates Katara for being an excellent bender. Still, he will not train her to fight. The rest of the tribesmen were inspired by her techniques, however, and asked for her help.
I thought that was really funny.
It was, yeah. Katara and Sokka reassure Aang that they will stay and fight with him, just as soot rains from the sky, signaling the arrival of the Fire Nation.
How'd you feel about the duel between Katara and Pakku?
I think it's pretty bad.
I do too, and it's like I can tell they were trying to do what the cartoon did. It feels very like stiff and weird, though.
You know what it is? It's that they're like stuck. Look, I mean,
it's the volume effect. It feels like they're just standing in a circle,
and it didn't need to be because the next episode starts off with one of the best action sequences in this entire show, and it like that energy is not here, and it does feel like they're like. Stuck in a room.
Like they're on, yeah.
And it's like you see
like it feels very limited.
Yeah, and they're outside and you see this vast space behind them, and yet they're stuck in like this one little area without the story telling them so. So like for the Agni Kai,
it'd be different if it was like, all right, this is the arena.
Which is right. For the Agni Kai, that's the case.
Right.
They're limited to a tiny little box arena like a fencing duel, right? Mm-hmm. Whereas in this, it's like, hey, like, no limits, whatever. And in the cartoon, like, they're in this big area, and all of that water sliding that they do is really big and fast.
Right. This is like, it's too condensed.
It's so condensed that, like, it's kind of slow. And, like, Katara's, like, sliding kind of slow, and then Pakku's kind of doing it slow.
It wasn't, I don't know.
It's pretty unimpressive, and that's the only time, that's, like, the only real time during the show where I'm like, oh, I'm feeling the limits of, like, this stage.
Right. And it might be the only action scene in the whole show that was like, really?
Yeah.
Because I do think the rest of like the bending is great. Even the bending here, like it was good, but it was so compact and
right.
I don't know. It wasn't that impressive here.
And there are like story reasons why other fights are that compact. Like when you have like Aang and Zuko in the marketplace. They're in a marketplace. And
that was
it was a great fight,
scene.
but because it's dressed and framed and blocked correctly. Like there's a lot of like their environment is present and they're using their environment. They're jumping over tables. They're in like all the fabrics and stuff.
Right.
The Agni Kai, obviously they're stuck. They're limited to that area. Later on, there's going to be a fight between Katara and Zuko, and they're like in a room. Okay. And they're using that room to their advantage also. There's a statue. They're going around the like, but in this, it's like, oh, you set it outside.
It's almost like it wasn't storyboarded very well.
Yeah. Anyway, didn't love it. I liked Katara's performance in it. However, I think it might be some of her best stuff comes later, like in the end of the show.
This is where she starts to feel like the Katara we know and love.
Yeah, she's really starting to like stick up for herself and just be like a very proactive voice, you know.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something else here. Hold on. Oh, and I really love. This is kind of the end of Sokka. Not the end, but this is towards the end of Sokka's arc, where
it's
he's
the culmination of everything.
Yeah, where instead of telling Katara to like, hey, like stay put, we have to be safe. I'm in charge. He goes, no, you should fight Paku. Like you're right, and he's learned so much about leadership and about his sister, and like these adventures have taught them so much, and I like that moment a lot where he encourages her, because that's what Sokka in the cartoon does all the time too, where at first he's very like, no, that's not what we should do, and then like after Katara yells at him, he's like, okay, actually I very much support you, let's go do it, you know.
Yeah.
Arculus is saying
Ong.
Oh wait,
he said Ong.
Yeah. The man named John says, if you were to eat a Pokemon, which would you choose?
That is irrelevant, but probably Magikarp.
I guess. Feels like the most useless Pokemon, right?
I mean, he evolves into Gyarados, which is pretty badass, but
it's never clear if like the humans and Pokemon are eating Pokemon. They're always like eating other food.
Because it's weird, because the Pokemon kind of talk to you.
Yeah. But are there other animals in Pokemon, or are they all vegetarians?
I guess if they're all Pokemon. If all the animals are Pokemon probably get eaten.
That's what I'm saying. But I specifically remember this in the cartoon. They like eat like regular Japanese food, including like sushi. I'm like, all right, where's that coming from?
That sushi's clearly used to be a Magikarp.
Is that like goldenrod?
Goldeen?
Sorry.
Goldeen?
Goldenrod is a street in Orlando.
Goldenrod is also a city in Pokemon, in the Kanto region.
Oh, okay, so I'm not crazy.
No, Goldenrod. Is Goldenrod City in Kanto or Johto?
So
there is a Goldenrod City, though.
Okay,
yes.
Thank God.
Yeah.
I thought I was like getting confused with my local geography. Anyway.
The man named John said he'd eat Lapras. Lapras doesn't look appetizing at all. What?
Why are you throwing us this curveball?
You're gonna eat a giant like. What is Lapras? Like a turtle mixed with like.
It's like a Loch Ness monster, right?
With a shell.
That's what I'm thinking of.
Yeah. He's a plesiosaurus.
Okay.
Like, whatever. That's an interesting choice. Also irrelevant.
Slowbro
is surf and turf.
Oh wow! I don't want to be a part of this anymore.
I hate this.
Katara. Okay, cool. Oh, that's the whole episode.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you know what though? At one point, Katara says, "The Legend of Aang."
Which is what the show was originally called.
Was it really? Before they changed it to Last Avatar? Last Airbender?
Yeah, and I believe in other, like overseas, it was called Avatar: The Legend of Aang.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I know that sometimes it's referred to as The Legend of Aang retroactively because the sequel is called Avatar: The Legend of Korra.
Right.
So there's like, everything else is Legend of Aang. Anyway. This might be my I don't know. I like the episode, but there's some weaker stuff in this one compared to the other ones.
Yeah. No, the North Pole stuff I feel like in the series isn't as engaging to me as the rest of the series has been.
Well, this next episode I actually love. Episode 8. But
I think there's some really cool stuff in episode 8, but I don't think it's my favorite episode.
Oh. But this one has a lot of setup for that one.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, it's whatever. But we have a first time interaction. The Art of Goblin Trash says, eat a Ditto.
If Ditto could transform into anything, then sure.
Yeah, but once you kill a Ditto, isn't it just going back to like a glob?
Is it like Jello then?
Ew. I don't want. Why are we thinking about this? I hate it. Well, welcome. Thanks for your first time chat, Art of Goblin Trash.
I'm glad that was the first thing you said to us.
Eat a dodo. I'm not gonna lie. When I read that, I was like, "Eat a dick." Like what are you saying? I'm like, do I need to ban this person?
Yeah.
And I didn't mention. We got a follower while we were off air 3 days ago. Aardvark Games. Thanks for the follow.
If you're here.
Yeah. if you hear this.
3 days ago, yeah, none of us were online at the time.
Yeah. It's an offline one.
Yeah.
Anyway. Moving on. Episode 8, Legends, directed by Jet Wilkinson and written by Albert Kim.
Hey, we got Jet back.
Jet's back. Guest actors are Utkarsh Ambudkar. I should have looked up how to say his name.
Utkarsh Ambudkar?
Yeah, it's King Boomy. And then pretty much everyone else is the same.
It's the same.
From the last few episodes.
Great continuation.
Great sages in this one. Francois Chow, who we mentioned before.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of the same people. Aang, Katara, and Sokka manage to ambush a Fire Navy ship and defeat the soldiers on board, but quickly realize there are too many ships in the fleet. The battle begins as the Fire Nation shoots fireballs to break through the city wall. Katara convinces Master Pakku to let her and all the tribe's women help fight. He sends the tribe's youth to report to Katara, who look up to her like a master. Meanwhile, Chief Arnook tasks Sokka with protecting his daughter, Princess Yue. Han wishes him good luck.
Okay.
I love all this pre-war bullshit. It makes me emotional. You know, when everyone's like getting ready to fight for their lives, I'm like, fuck yeah.
It's like it might be the last time they talk to each other. Yeah.
And if it's done right, if it's got that right build up, like I'm all in on this stuff. Did
you feel like you were watching like Band of Brothers? Or
Kinda,
something?
Yeah. No, but I that's my point. I really think that like from a war movie or TV show perspective, I think they really did that really well. This episode felt really high stakes.
It was like okay, this might be giving the show a little too much credit, and I feel like I've used this example before, but like right before the battle of why can I not remember the name? At the end of the Two Towers.
Oh, Helm's Deep?
Helm's Deep, yep.
Yeah.
When they're like they're getting ready, the army's marching on them. They've got all the people in the castle.
I saw a clip from
or in the building.
It was either from that or Return of the King, before one of the battle scenes, and it was a clip because someone was taking footage from like the concert series where they play the movie but without the music, and then they play the music live or whatever.
Yeah.
And it was like one of those scenes where they're kind of like hyping up the army and they're gonna go, and the scene was like long. It was like 5 minutes. And it was just like, and like nothing was happening other than everyone was just getting ready for battle. And it's like, yeah, like when you do it right, it could go on forever, and you're just like so hype. Like,
well, especially if you care about the characters,
because it's a very slow build, but like it just raises the tension into like a breaking point.
It might be Return of the King. Was it like a big outdoor battle?
Yeah, it's Return of the King. Because Helm's Deep is in the dark.
Yeah,
it's raining.
It's dark. It's raining. It's very grim.
Right. Yeah, it's the finale.
I prefer the Battle of Helm's Deep to the.
A lot of people do.
It's
more interesting.
Return of the King battle. Yeah, it is more interesting. Listen, I like when people are, it's a no-win scenario, but you're trying anyway. There's just
something about that.
Yeah.
I liked when all the women show up because they're like, we're here to fight. Because that Katara is doing something Katara. You know what I mean?
She's rallying people.
Yeah. And she's not listening to the detractors. She's not, she's not being told no. Like, she is fighting. And I'm watching season 3, and there's a lot of really good Katara episodes in that. Where Katara is basically not going to take no for an answer. Like, she sticks to her guns. And I love that. What else?
Like the Painted Lady?
Yeah. Painted Painted Lady for sure. This first scene is delightful. It's so cartoony and I love it. Like it's a lot of it's done in like one sweeping shot too, where like
I like that it feels like a cold open too.
Yes, love it.
Yeah.
fucking Sokka's like, because they're all taking down the ship together, and Sokka he jumps off Appa, he goes into the main ship, he starts beating everything up with his fucking club, and he jumps back on Appa as like Aang's also. It's all really well done, and it's the scene that made me go, well, fuck, why didn't like the last action scene look like this?
Right.
You know, because this one had a big sense of space.
Mm-hmm. And then they take down the ship, and then they see the rest of the fleet, and like, oh, we can't do this.
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's very sweeping. It's almost like Game of Thrones level of kind of range.
Again, we might be giving the show a little too much credit, but
I'm saying
I get what you're saying.
It feels big, even though it's mostly CGI, and the CGI is good throughout. Honestly,
especially for a Netflix show.
Yeah, it is good. But Zuko leaves alone to sneak onto. Zuko leaves alone to sneak into the Northern Water Tribe city for the Avatar. Iroh offers him some encouragement, and Zuko says Lu Ten would have been proud to have him as a father. This was a really nice moment, also.
Yeah. Everything with Lu Ten's just so fucking sad, though.
Yeah. Iroh accompanies Zhao on a small mission on their new prototype war balloon. He urges Zhao to not attack at night during a full moon when the waterbenders are at their peak, but Zhao shares his secret plan.
I'm going to kill the moon.
He learned from the Fire Sages that Agnikela was built on an oasis where the waterbenders learned to bend from the moon spirit. He acquired Avatar Kuruk's spiritual knife and plans on killing the moon spirit on the one night a year it takes physical form. By doing so, the waterbenders will be powerless permanently. Kuruk senses the knife's presence and warns Aang.
I do like that he specifically has to use like Avatar Kuruk's knife to kill the spirit, because Kuruk's, in this iteration of the story anyway, Kuruk specialized in fighting spirits.
Yeah, he's a spirit killer.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I was
literally and metaphorically, I guess.
Yeah, I was gonna say, how do you feel about all these little kind of changes?
I'm fine with them for the most part.
Yeah,
like nothing has like, besides like maybe portrayals of certain characters, nothing's like upset me though. Like none of the lore changes or anything like that has upset me. It
just made me think of like, well, how did they need all of these like plot devices to get the characters up in the Oasis? Like I started to forget, because this
probably
doesn't
not, but it's more interesting than just like, I'm gonna shoot a fireball at the fish and it's dead. Like
it's more dramatic, yeah.
Yeah.
And when we get there, something I liked about this show better is that in the cartoon and in the movie, actually, it seems like everyone's just waiting for Zhao to kill the fish and no one's doing anything about it.
Iroh definitely tries to talk him down.
Yeah, but Iroh threatens him. He says,
whatever you do, whatever you unleash on that spirit, whatever you do to that spirit, I'll unleash on you tenfold.
But he also doesn't stop him. And like
that's true.
Zhao kills him, and then Iroh's like, okay.
He does shoot 10 fire blasts at him though.
Yeah, and he's like, all right, well now I'm gonna like fucking firebend. Why didn't you do that before?
Right.
Whereas in this, there is an active struggle to stop him.
Yeah.
And in spite of that, he still manages to kill the koi.
That is a little bit better, I think.
Right. And I feel like...
Well, I think in the cartoon, like... And this happens with a lot of animated shows, where it's like the background characters, they kind of have to stand there, because it's hard to have a lot of things animated
moving
at the same time. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And I'm like, once you put that in live action, it's going to look real weird that no one's stopping him. He's just sitting there. He's like, I'm going to kill this fish.
Then they're all just going to look like extras standing there.
Exactly. And I was just like, please don't kill that fish. He's like, well, I'm going to do it. And he's like, oh, no.
Like, if you do it, I'll be really mad.
Yeah. So
I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm going to do it anyway. But someone, who was it that was like, was it you? That was like, oh, the war balloon's already here. Like, it's not supposed to be here till season 3 or something.
Was that me? It might have been me.
Yeah.
But I don't think I was like complaining about it. I was like, oh, that was a really fast turnaround in that technology, though.
Well, they did say it was just the prototype. It's just the one.
Right.
And it's been a few weeks also. So it's like, it's kind of believable. The only thing about that, that you were saying about the knife and all these like little extra plot devices is that, like, I found it kind of weird that like you need a special knife to kill this fish when the whole point of this event is that they're taking physical form.
Which makes them vulnerable.
Which makes them vulnerable to feel their mortality. And even Yue's like,
yeah,
they want to experience kind of their mortality for one night a year or whatever. And it's like, okay, cool. Well, then they should be able to die then. Just like a rock falls on them and they die. Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't need a special knife.
I see your point with that too.
However, I'm going to get...
But like we said, it's more dramatic this way.
It is more dramatic, but I'm going to keep going back and forth. I like that, like, in Roku's shrine, we've talked about there's like little totems from every avatar. Like Kuruk's knife is hanging out in Roku's shrine because it's like a museum piece.
Right.
They kind of kept all these little knickknacks or whatever.
Yeah, and that's something that the show, like, I like that the show did all of like the like items that were maybe important to previous avatars and stuff, and it's like they're hailed as like sacred items.
Yeah.
So
the cartoon does it too, but
very lightly though.
Like it's Avatar Kyoshi's like headdress and fans.
Yeah, it's like literally her clothes and
then
stuff.
like Roku's hairpiece.
Yeah.
But like this show's doing like, but what about like all of their stuff? Like a lot more stuff.
Look, I would imagine any item that any of the avatars had a lot of contact with would have some sort of spiritual energy to it.
Right. I mean, like, they're museum pieces basically.
Yeah.
But it also helps that like Kurok is like, oh no, I can feel my knife is here because it's spiritual, and get going. You got to go.
Yeah.
During the battle, Momo is gravely injured while saving a child. Yue takes Sokka and Momo to the Spirit Oasis, where the Moon Spirit healed her as a child. In the spiritual waters, Yue heals Momo just before they must hide as they see Zhao, Iroh, and a small group of firebenders arrive in the war balloon Sokka helped design. Real quick, this threw me off seeing Momo like almost die.
Yeah.
I was like, I will turn this fucker off right now if Momo... And obviously Momo wasn't going to die.
No.
But I was like, what the fuck?
Because at first I was like, what the fuck did they just do?
Yeah.
and then I'm glad they made him like a hero, though.
Yeah, Momo's great.
Yeah. He's awesome.
And I also like that like Sokka always has this rapport with like the animal characters.
Well, it's like he starts off like not liking them. And he's like,
but he really loves them. Mm-hmm. He's just pretending.
No, because he was freaking out when Momo got.
But he's right, but he's like, oh, you finally made yourself useful, Momo, and he's like, oh fuck,
and he's like, oh wait, oh shit.
Oh, and the way his limp body that was animated way too real.
It made me uncomfortable.
I hate seeing animals get hurt.
Yeah,
even if it's fake, I'm like, no, fuck that, I can't do that.
Especially when it's like a good-natured animal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. Zhao demands Iroh help him find the ocean and moon spirits, who is mortified. I mean...
I guess he is mortified. But...
Yeah, but hold on. It just doesn't...
Oh, the sentence is just a little weird.
Yeah, the sentence structure is weird. I'm trying to figure it out. Zhao demands Iroh help him find the ocean and moon spirits, and Iroh is mortified by his plan to disrupt the spiritual world. Aang and Katara rush to the oasis, but are stopped by Zuko, who only cares about taking Aang. Katara stays behind to fight Zuko, who is impressed and angered by her improved bending. I like that a lot.
He's upset that she got better.
Yeah, so like a running thread in this season is that like Katara goes from like 0 to hero, in terms of bending.
Right.
Same as in the cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
But the first time that they crossed paths was like episode 2, and like she kind of tried sticking up for herself against Zuko and is like instantly like embarrassed. And she falls over like in nothing, and now she's like putting up a really good fight.
And it pisses Zuko off.
Yeah, he likes being the best. He doesn't like being defeated.
Nobody likes being defeated.
But and this fight is way better. We were talking about this a second ago. But like this is a good fight, I think. It's way better than the one she had against Paku.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like you said, they use the room to their advantage.
Yeah. Aang arrives to the oasis as Zhao recognizes 2 koi fish as the ocean and moon spirits. Iroh warns Zhao that killing the moon will send the world into chaos and threatens him, but Zhao has become delusionally obsessed with power. He thinks doing this will earn him the claim to the throne as Fire Lord Zhao the Moonslayer.
Zhao the Moonslayer.
That's pretty much from the cartoon, right? He says that in the...
Yeah, but then Momo's supposed to jump on his head, but Momo's a little busy being gravely injured right now.
No, he got healed. He got healed.
He's recovering.
A scene prior. Yeah. Aang appears, urging him to stop, and offers himself in exchange. Iroh surprise attacks Zhao, but Zhao is still able to stab the moon spirit. Yue faints as the moon vanishes from the sky and waterbenders lose their bending abilities, including Katara, who is still fighting Zuko. Han and the rest of the fighters resort to hand-to-hand combat, and Iroh firebends Zhao and the soldiers away. So like I said a minute ago, this is better that there was at least some preventative fighting before he could kill the moon spirit.
And this is also where, like, if you didn't already think Iroh was like kind of a good guy, this is where he shows his true colors, where he's like, oh, I'm not standing for this.
Right.
This is wrong.
Yeah. I like that a lot.
Yeah.
So on Zhao here for a minute. We talked about this earlier about how like this show has made him slightly less powerful and like well regarded and respected than in the cartoon, but he still seems to be incredibly capable, and he's extra conniving in this one, and I really like this angle.
I'm still just kind of lukewarm on this version of Zhao, but I don't hate him though.
Yeah. Did you rewatch any of these episodes for this?
I haven't rewatched. Not the live action series.
Right.
No.
Right. On a rewatch, because I was watching them again to like type all these out or whatever. Because at first I was like, in the next scene he talks about how he had a partner in all this, which was Azula, right?
Okay.
But like a lot of people took away that like Azula was the mastermind behind that, but you kind of go back and you really look at it, it seems to be 50-50, if not more Zhao
They're
than
kind of playing each other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because they both want the same thing. They both want the throne. And I like that. I like that there's a little Game of Thrones, isn't there?
A little bit, yeah.
I think that's what the creators meant when they were like, "Oh, yeah, we got to like channel a little bit of Game of Thrones in this."
It's like like literally the Game of Thrones.
Yeah, like people are vying for the throne.
In the Game of Thrones, the Game of Thrones is a thing. It's like it's politics.
Right.
Yeah.
But I like that I like that they made him a nobody, even though he's smart and conniving. He has no connections. He's in the outside looking in. Like he can't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's a nobody. He's never gonna mean anything unless he has the opportunity to prove himself, and then this is it. But it was Zhao who went to the Fire Sages and discovered, the Earth and Moon spirits. It wasn't Azula.
Yeah.
Azula just kind of helped him along in getting in good graces with the Fire Lord.
Okay. I can see that.
I really like the scene where they lose their firebending, but Han and the other guys are still fighting.
You mean waterbending?
Yeah, sorry.
You're waterbending. About the Day of Black Sun.
It's just, it's a good war scene.
Yeah. Well, Han's not even a waterbender anyway, right? He's just a warrior, right?
Oh, you might be right, actually, yeah.
But the rest of them, yeah, it's like they...
But they didn't stop fighting, is my point.
No, yeah. Like, they're not cowards.
No. Like, they're there. They're like, oh, fuck it. I guess we're going to beat your ass now. Seeing the desperate state of things, Aang enters the Avatar state and steps into the Oasis pool, where he combines with the ocean spirit. The two form a giant koi-like water creature who towers above the city. The Avatar and the ocean spirit fight the Fire Nation single-handedly, while Zuko encounters Zhao escaping the city. The two fight until Zhao finally tells Zuko what he dreads the most. Ozai sent him on an impossible mission as motivation for Azula to become stronger. Azula has been his partner throughout. As Zuko screams in anger, Zhao tries to attack behind his back dishonorably, but Iroh kills him.
Iroh just straight up just murders him.
Yeah. Yeah. He's being dishonorable. Why wouldn't he? His back is turned.
Yeah, you can't do that.
That's not the way to do things.
No.
And the thing is,
disgraceful.
Yeah, and I almost wish they had said it a little bit more explicitly because, like, Iroh and Zuko are men of honor. Like, that's what keeps them on their path.
Yeah.
Whether or not
they have principles.
They have principle. Exactly. And Zhao does not. He will literally do anything to get ahead. Right? And this is the moment, and it mirrors their Agni Kai that they had early in the cartoon.
Yeah.
Where, same thing, where Zhao tries to attack while Zuko's back is turned. Iroh steps in and says, "How fucking dare you dishonorably attack like that?" Like, that's not
like
what we do.
This is how the great Admiral Zhao,
or
I guess he was commander at the time,
right?
This is how the great Commander Zhao acts in the face of defeat. And he goes, disgraceful.
And I almost wish he had said something. I mean, instead he just like murders them, which is good.
It's good to see Iroh let loose a little bit.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure he actually has a lot of anger in him.
Yeah. Aang in the giant kaiju looks great. Looks really good.
It does.
I think some of the best CGI went right here, and then in the later scene when he's like fighting the entire armada, looks incredible. And
it's like it's scary. If that thing was attacking your fleet, that's fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
There was something I wanted to say about the kaiju, but I think that's going to be in the next paragraph.
Okay. The Ocean Spirit Kaiju rampages through the city, defeating all the Fire Nation ground forces, and makes it out of the water, where it starts destroying Fire Nation ships as well. It creates a tidal wave pushing the remaining ships away until Katara pleads with Aang to come back to them. Yue says Aang is lost to the will of the vengeful spirit and is doomed to ravage the world in search of its missing partner. Yue then has an epiphany. She thanks Sokka, kisses him, and freezes his feet to prevent him from stopping her. She realizes that she is part of the moon spirit in her... Nope. Okay. She realizes that she has part of the moon spirit in her from when it was... Oh my god, I can't read. Spirit in her from when it gave her life, and decides to return it back. That's redundant. Return back. She enters the oasis and becomes the new moon spirit herself. The moon returns to the sky, and Aang returns to himself.
So, I guess she also waterbended here. I forgot about her freezing his feet.
Oh yeah, but
how'd you feel about them, like with Aang and the? I guess it's the ocean spirit.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the whole, like, oh, that's not Aang anymore? Like, he's gone. Like,
oh, you know what?
Because that was a different take on what happened, I feel like.
So, yeah, in the cartoon, and the thing is, I kind of like that here they talk about it a little bit more.
Because it's kind of the same thing.
It's kind of the same thing, but in the cartoon, it's more implicit. They don't mention it.
Right.
Right? But, like, in the cartoon, you get the feeling that it's mostly Aang's anger while in the Avatar state that is guiding his decisions and what he's doing. Whereas in this, it seems like it's the ocean spirit.
It's like the spirit took over his body.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think...
Which seems more Avatar-like.
That's the thing I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It's not that I like one more than the other. It's just that I feel like this
one makes more sense.
Yeah, it makes more sense. It makes more use of the word Avatar.
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about this the other day, and it's like at no point in the original series do they ever explain what the Avatar is actually the Avatar of. Do you know what I mean?
The Avatar is the avatar of the spirit Rava.
Yeah.
But we don't learn that until until
like a decade later. That's my point.
Yeah.
In just the 3 seasons of Avatar The Last Airbender, it is never explained what he's an avatar of.
Right.
So, and let me be clear, like an avatar is
they really say is he's supposed to bring balance to the world, and he's the bridge between the spirit world and the regular world, I guess. But
so like an avatar is a representation of something else within a different medium.
By definition. That is what an avatar is. Yeah.
So like for the avatar to be a different iteration of the same spirit over and over and over again is not quite what an avatar is. It's close. but it's not quite that. It's not until you explain that there is a spirit guiding each and every avatar, and their body is just their physical avatar within this world.
Yeah.
But that is just a very strong...
Because their body is literally a vessel for that spirit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that is just a very strong implication in the original series. It's not actually explained until Korra
dug into the lore in book 2 of Korra.
Yeah.
And a lot of people didn't like that, but I'm like, that makes perfect sense.
At least now they explain why he's called the word Avatar.
Right.
Because they could have used any other word. The word Avatar never quite applied, is what I'm saying.
The word Avatar made more sense for the Avatar Blue People movie.
Yeah.
At the time, at least.
Yeah, it really did.
Because that was literally an avatar that the people were put in.
Right. It's just a body.
Right. Whereas this, it's like, yeah, it's not explained until way later in Korra.
Yeah.
But I like that. I actually like that it was touched upon here.
Yeah. No, same.
But it's one of those things where, again, they have the advantage of knowing the rest of the story.
Exactly. But in this, and then I thought about it, I'm like, oh, you know what? He is kind of like he does Avatar more than once because, like, okay, in the cartoon, Roku uses his body as an avatar.
Literally
right?
once, though, but...
In this, Kyoshi does it.
Right. Oh, Kyoshi uses Aang's body in book 2.
Yeah, right, yes. But then in this... fucking the ocean spirit's using his body.
Right.
So I kind of do like that the ocean spirit's in control.
Technically, I guess if you think about it, anytime they're in the avatar state, that is Rava using their body. Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. That's what makes Rava vulnerable.
And that's why you would have all the connection to all the past lives while you're in there. And yeah, that's why if you're killed in the avatar state, yeah, Rava gets killed and then the connection's gone.
Right. Because it's no longer like Rava no longer has that separation, that degree of separation where that's someone else's
Rava
body.
like physically there.
Right.
So again, the Avatar makes perfect sense when you bring the lore from Korra into it. But in just the original series, yeah, it's like it's a little vague on what exactly
he's an avatar of.
Right.
Yeah. Huh.
That's a good point, though. It's like I didn't. Now that I'm thinking about it, that makes perfect sense. I didn't think about it that way before, though.
It's something that's always kind of bothered me a little bit. It's like you called it Avatar, so like the creators,
I'm sure they had like that idea.
No, they knew.
Yeah,
but they didn't put it in the show.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the deadly aftermath of the battle, Sokka apologizes to Arnuk for letting. One more thing before we move on. Visually, this looks incredible. I think this is they really stuck the landing in this episode by just putting all of the CGI in this one.
And I can't remember, do all the waterbenders like bow down to him when he okay, so they do that part because that was one of the coolest parts in the cartoon
because they recognize
know. They're like, oh my god, like
like we've upset the spirits.
Get on your knees.
They did that in this. And he's just like terrorizing, but like it looks so good on an OLED TV too because it's night. There's a lot of black on the screen,
and it actually looks black because OLED.
Right. And then like the body is so like bright blue. It's shiny. There's a lot of like light effects. It looks really good.
I need to get an OLED TV.
Hell yeah, dude!
I have an OLED monitor, which is awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's
awesome
cool
for games, but I want it because I have an Xbox and a PS5. I can watch 4K, but I want to get like a 4K OLED TV so I can really take advantage of that.
Yeah. Oh, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
I love my TV so much. Anyway,
they're so expensive though. They're so fucking expensive.
They're about $2,000 for like a big one.
Fuck that right now.
Well, okay. Anyway, in the deadly aftermath of the battle, Sokka apologizes to Arnuk. So let me catch my breath. Sokka apologizes to Arnuk for letting Yue sacrifice herself. He blames himself for never being the warrior he should be, but Arnuk thanks Sokka for being with Yue in her final moments before saving the world. He calls Sokka a hero. Pakku thanks Katara for reminding him that water is the element of change and offers her a position helping teach the new generation of waterbenders. Katara declines, saying that they have to leave soon to continue Aang's journey. Pakku says he couldn't have a better master than Katara and gifts her a vial of sacred water from the spirit oasis.
So now we know what's going to happen in book 2.
I mean, that was always gonna happen.
For people that haven't seen the series though, I'm so curious. I'm not gonna spoil it because it is kind of a big event. Yeah. But I can't wait to see people's reactions if they haven't seen the show, like the original show.
I have yet to see anyone online, and it's because those people don't go online.
Those people don't go online.
Someone who watched this show and has not seen the cartoon.
Right. But there are definitely people out there that have like.
Oh no, I'm sure it's a thing.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like I haven't seen
a bunch of people.
I've only seen like a couple episodes of the anime One Piece, but I'm seriously thinking about watching the Netflix live action.
Okay. Right.
Honestly, just because I hear so many good things about it, the cast seems great.
It's shorter.
It's shorter. Yeah, I don't have to watch 500 fucking episodes.
Right.
I'm scared to get into One Piece because it's so long.
Yeah.
Blake's takes 1 month later. All right, listen, we've been going through it week by week.
Yeah,
so chill. Also, I finished the show before you, so shut up.
Yeah, we did 4 episodes over the course of a month. That's one a week. It's
not that crazy.
Yeah, this is right on time actually. So this brings up one of my complaints. I guess we could talk about it later, but like one of my kind of main complaints
that Aang doesn't waterbend.
Yeah, it's kind of the
big at all.
I don't care, Blake. This is for our Patreon. Join our Patreon.
Yeah, this isn't a regular episode.
Yeah, we already did that.
This is specifically for the people that would want to hear our thoughts on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ban you from this conversation. We don't need you here. What were you saying?
Oh, your complaint was that Aang doesn't waterbend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Oh, Blake's leaving. Bye.
Okay, bye. We're just kidding, but also bye.
It's good to see you. I'll see you Saturday, I hope.
Yeah. Let's hang out on Saturday. Yeah, I kind of don't like that he didn't waterbend at all during this season.
Yeah.
Look, I see.
Unless you count the ocean spirit possessing his body.
That's true. I see what, I can see that they like wrote this character arc for Aang in this, which is like he feels a lot of guilt. He's very intrepid to learning new things, because he's not fully accepted his role as the Avatar, right? And all of the responsibility and guilt that comes from it, right?
Yeah.
And so, but at the same time, it's like, look, man, there's 3 seasons of Avatar, and each one he's learning a new, like, discipline.
Right. It's like, unless they're going to do it off screen or rush it at the beginning of the next season.
So, like, I understand that, like, they're probably going to start the next season with, like, oh, we stayed in the Northern Water, tribe for a year, and we trained with Paku,
which
and we're all better. And
could definitely, it's very likely that that's what they'll do.
Well, they have to do time jumps.
Right.
Because they're going to be visibly older. Right? So it's like,
otherwise it'd be weird. We'd have the Stranger Things problem.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh yeah, we just got into high school. It's like, dude, you're like 20 years old now.
Yeah, exactly. And Katara did just tell Paku, like, oh, we got to get going or whatever. But I'm like, okay, also, like, off screen, you should probably hang out here for a little bit for the next season to make sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna want season 2 to see Aang learning earthbending. So it's kind of like, well, then when is he gonna learn waterbending?
I can't wait to see Toph in live action. Honestly,
that's the thing. Yeah. So
because Toph is so fucking badass.
Toph's cool. Yeah, I love Toph.
I hope she has like that sarcastic humor still.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
But we'll see.
Cast The Rock. The Rock needs to be in season 2.
I don't know how many blind jokes they can get away with doing though.
Happen. Oh, they could do a couple. They could definitely do some. I don't know about. I don't know how deep they'll go, but
I don't know how upset people would get.
Look, I knew a blind guy who made nonstop self-deprecating humor to the point where I was uncomfortable because I'm like, okay, dude, you're overcompensating. You know what I mean? Like, this is your defense mechanism. I get it.
Right.
And now I'm uncomfortable.
But also, like, I would love for there to be a few jokes. Don't play it too seriously.
Yeah. Oh no, for sure.
But also, like, don't make it to where her being blind is one big joke either, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like
it's tough.
There's a balance there.
Yeah. I just watched The Runaway, which is the one where they keep on showing Toph like papers and stuff, and she's like, "Did you guys forget I can't read? Like I'm blind."
No, that's good. Just even they probably won't do like her putting a poster up upside down or something. They probably won't do that. I do hope we get that joke with the library where she's like, there it is, while they're flying. And everyone's like, where?
Yeah.
Because that's genuinely a good one. And also, they're in like a tunnel and Sokka goes, I can't see a thing. And she's like, oh no, what a nightmare.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite is where Sokka says he's going to save her, but then Suki outruns him.
That's a good one,
and
too.
She's like, oh, Sokka, my hero, and kisses him on the cheek. But it's Suki.
She's like, you can go ahead and let me drown now.
Yeah, that, humor like that. Like, that's
good, yeah.
Anyway.
Why do people keep handing me papers? I can't read.
Back to this.
Yeah. Anyway, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
The boy who looked up to Katara is super dead, and so is Han. And there's a shot where you just look at their dead faces. It's
fucked up.
It's really heavy, and I kind of love it.
Right.
Because
this show was not afraid to get gritty with it.
They're at war, and I mean, the original show kind of did the same thing without showing it.
They did everything that they could do being on Nickelodeon.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of adult war themes in that show, and it's teaching a lot of war things to children.
Did you know, speaking of Nickelodeon, the last two, or all of book 4 of Korra and the last half of book 3 were not aired on Nickelodeon. Yeah. You had to watch it on the website.
I remember that.
Like they pulled it off the air and you have to watch it on nick.com.
Well, it was because it was canceled. But they still had it was canceled, but they still.
But it was done.
Well, the episodes were done, so they're like, well, we'll just put it up on the website.
It's so weird.
It was crazy. There was
but they would still premiere every week,
right? There was speculation that it was because of the
it was right before the murder of the Earth Queen. Spoiler alert for another series.
I don't really remember Korra that well, but it was also before the reveal that she's a lesbian.
That too. That might be why Nickelodeon was
that's why they pulled
maybe we're not ready for this.
Yeah. But I was actually up to date. I was watching
them as they were coming
out at that point.
Mm-hmm.
Where I was just a little behind.
Okay.
Just a few a season. And I remember when that happened, I was like, "Well, shit! Now we got to go on the website or whatever."
Because I remember Legend of Korra premiered. The very first episode premiered the day before I started working at Chick-fil-A.
Oh, okay.
That was what? Is that 11, 12 years ago?
It was a long time ago.
Yeah. Holy shit! It's been a long time.
The only weird thing about this part where they show them being super dead is that the next scene,
they showed a dead child.
Yeah, there's that, and then Aang's like, "This is my fault," and Sokka's like, "This is war, buddy. It's not your fault. This was always gonna happen." And then they start laughing about it, and I'm like, "Oh, this is a bit of a
roller coaster."
Yeah, the tone changes in this are pretty neck breaking.
It's war. Get over it.
Yeah, and then they start giggling and they go off screen. But
they start splashing around the water.
Yeah. Sokka and Katara here we go. Sokka and Katara comfort Aang that the casualties of war are not his fault. He becomes slightly optimistic about mastering waterbending, earthbending, and firebending. Again, he should have already
typed waterbending, earthbending, and waterbending.
I know, but then I fixed it in live. Okay.
Yeah, and I just revealed everything.
God damn it! I'm a performer. Okay.
It was just funny. I was looking at him like that's a sentence.
Yeah. Iroh and Zuko escape safely by rowboat, and Zuko is unsure of where to go, both literally and metaphorically.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Fire Lord Ozai accepts the failure at Agnikela because it doubled as a distraction for Azula to conquer Umashu and capture King Bumi. In a post-credits scene, sorta, but it feels like a post-credits scene.
It's like the last scene. Yeah.
But
it's not quite a stinger, but it kind of is.
It is because it's after the title card.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's no credits, but it is a post.
So I guess it's a stinger, but not a post credits.
It doesn't matter. The great sage informs Ozai that Sozin's comet, The comet that granted Zozin the power to defeat the air nomads and kick off the war will soon return.
Whoa.
Did you notice? If you look closely at this contraption that they built to like predict when the comet's coming or whatever, right before the comet comes, the moon and the sun, the eclipse happens. It's a blink and you miss it, but I'm like, there it is.
I like that.
Day of Black Sun, baby. Because that happens like a few weeks
I like that they're already
before.
planting those seeds. Yeah.
I like that a lot. Anyway, that's the episode. Question: Is Agna Kella named in the show? I feel like this is the first time I've ever heard it.
Isn't that what Han yells on the boat? Welcome to Agna Kella.
No, I'm saying in the cartoon.
Oh, in the cartoon. Oh, I don't think it's named.
Or is it just ever?
It's just the North Pole.
The North.
Or Northern Water Tribe.
North Water Tribe or whatever.
Yeah. I don't think they name like locations in the cartoon. Like, at least not Water Tribe locations.
Well, Wolf Cove is named. Is that new? Also,
I think that's new to. It might be like in the lore, but I don't think it's named in the cartoon.
Like it's explicitly said.
Yeah.
Wow.
It might be in like some like side material or like an art book or the RPG.
Yeah.
Like that might be where some of that lore comes from. Because all of that is canon.
Right.
So
interesting. That's a bit from season 2 where they conquer Omashu.
Yeah, but we don't actually see it happen. They just show up and Omashu's under Fire Nation control. So leave. It was cool to see a little bit of it happening here.
So they might as well put it here because it doesn't.
Yeah,
it's barely.
And I'm sure there's people that complained about that. That's not supposed to happen yet.
Yeah.
Well, it is. That is actually when it happens in the timeline. So.
Oh right. Yeah.
People like to bitch.
Yeah.
But that's the show.
That's the show, yeah. Okay. This episode, go first. Yeah, do you like this episode?
I do. It's a good adaptation of the finale, I thought.
I think this is one of the stronger episodes, which is good because it's the finale, and the finale should be strong.
A finale should always be strong.
It should be the strongest.
You don't want
to
Game of Thrones it.
You don't want to Moon Knight it. Or WandaVision it.
You don't want to Marvel Disney Plus it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, it feels like this is a rarity to end on a high note. And so that's why I really appreciated that, like...
I think we're just not used to stuff ending on a high note.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm like, I kind of forgive the bad Paku Katara fight because, like, we get a lot of good action scenes in this one.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was saying. It was like, that was the one fight where I was like, this ain't it.
Yeah. But...
the rest of it's honestly very well done.
Mm-hmm. No, seriously. I love the visuals in this. I think it's beautiful. This is it really kind of surprised me. And even on the rewatch, while I just have it on the side monitor while I'm typing up the thing, I'm just like, oh wow, this is really cool.
This is good stuff.
This is good shit. But yeah, overall, this show, we've already talked about this a lot, but I think it's a solid adaptation. I obviously love the cartoon, but like I will watch this again. This isn't a thing where I'm like, oh yeah, it was fine. I'm never gonna return to it. I'm definitely gonna like, maybe in a year or so, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna get caught. I'm gonna do the whole thing again.
This is definitely one of the things where like before the next season comes out, I will rewatch the previous season. I'll probably rewatch the cartoon too.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Entertain while cooking, Blake. It's midnight.
Wow.
You're cooking.
Or his entertainment.
Did Summer just get home and you're making dinner? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Probably. Weird scheduling going on.
What were you saying?
Oh, I was just saying that like before the next season of this comes out, I will rewatch this, but I will also probably rewatch the entire cartoon again.
Right.
But Avatar is a cartoon that I can rewatch whenever and be totally fine with it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm trying to think. I think some of the actors, like, and I look forward to the actors growing with the show. I think this episode specifically, some of their better acting. I think the kids got.
Yeah.
I think they were given better lines in this one too. I think they were coached a little bit better for this one.
Well, I think just this episode overall was a lot
stronger
than a lot of what we had seen previously.
Yeah, I think even like Katara,
I know shows like this don't usually film everything in order, but it feels like this is one of the last things filmed.
Oh yeah, maybe you might be right. Oh. But yeah, we kind of went through this. Easter eggs, not many that I could catch, other than
the eclipse.
The eclipse thing. Yeah. Music is solid. I actually was listening to just the soundtrack. And I really like it.
I like the score in this. I still think the score from the show is better.
It's a lot. It's obviously similar.
Right. But I just think it's just, I don't know.
Okay.
There's something about the cartoon that captures it better, even though it's like lower quality sound in the cartoon. But I think the music itself is better in the cartoon. So
there's a lot of themes that were original to this one. And I really like it. There's like the Kyoshi Warriors theme. There's the Air Nomads theme in the beginning.
I don't think we got the Jet and the Freedom Fighters theme, did we?
Oh,
do you remember that
from the cartoon?
Yeah, they're like do 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 do.
Not really.
And then like Smellerbee comes out and like the little people, and it's like do do do. It's like a higher pitch.
Oh, that's funny. No, I don't really remember that.
Oh, it's one of the themes from the cartoon that's just like constantly in my head. I don't know. Maybe Blake knows what I'm talking about, but because I know they're still rewatching. Actually, they might have finished their rewatch.
Yeah, I was too, but I don't remember that.
That was also book one shit though.
Yeah,
so
it was book one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. Like I said, I really like the show. I can recognize its faults, but I think I have a little bit of bias, and I'm enjoying it way more than
other people seem to be.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat there.
I had a really, really good time.
I did too. I thought like overall it was a good adaptation.
Yeah.
Like obviously there's things that could have been improved upon.
Yeah.
The acting being one of them, but again, they're kids.
Yeah.
I think they'll grow into these roles pretty well, honestly. Especially if they keep training for like choreography stuff. Get the coaching needed for some of the lines and stuff. Like I think they can go far with this.
Yeah.
And we've already got two really strong actors with Dallas Liu and who plays Sokka? What's his name?
Ian Osley.
Yes. I think he's great
he's
too,
great.
honestly.
He's good. Yeah. I'm excited because right now I'm watching book 3 and I'm like, all I can think about is like, oh, I'm excited for when they adapt this,
A lot of book 3 stuff I think would be really cool.
It gets real mature in book 3.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Sokka's episode when he gets a sword.
His space sword?
Yeah. That one's great. That's a good episode.
Yeah, that is what is that one called? The Master?
Something like that. Yeah. Also, I just watched the Avatar and the Fire Lord.
That is such a good episode.
Such a good fucking episode. And the thing is, that episode is limited by its running time because it's got to be 22 minutes. And I'm like, God,
yeah.
But
we're getting like an entire origin story there.
I'm like, you needed more time to. I want more from this story.
I think that could have been a 2-parter easily.
Oh, for sure.
We got a 2-parter for Avatar 1. We could have gotten a 2-parter for Roku.
Yeah.
But also, again, Avatar 1 was like a decade later.
Yeah, that's true.
So,
yeah, Avatar 1 probably didn't need it. I don't remember it very well, but it probably didn't need to be a 2-parter.
What I liked about the Avatar 1 episode, though, is it's very standalone and it's very entertaining to watch.
I do like it.
And I love the animation.
The art style.
Yeah, the art style is very unique in it.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because it looks like a tapestry.
Mm-hmm.
It's got textures and stuff.
Yeah.
It's really good. Anyway. All right, guys. That's it for this final question, Berta. Was Mephisto in this TV show? Oh, we're back on. Oh, sorry. We're detectives again.
Well, I couldn't find that son of a bitch here, but
damn,
he's somewhere out there. I don't. Zhao was pretty Mephisto-like.
You think? Yeah, he was kind of.
He killed the moon.
It's pretty bad. That's pretty ambitious too. He was fueled by his ambition.
You know who's ambitious? The devil.
The devil. Yeah. He's always there to
I can't do this voice anymore. But no. Definitely some Mephisto influence on Zhao there.
Azula's getting she's almost getting like her strings are being pulled by Mephisto.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, she's getting manipulated a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So
I just hope I'm sure Zhao is trapped in some sort of purgatory right now for his misdeeds.
Hell yeah. So we'll put a pin in this. Put a little bit of string and and a push pin on this show, because we'll come back to it for season 2 probably in like 2 years.
I had strings, but now I'm free.
Oh wow.
And no strings on me.
And we'll come back and we'll check out probably X-Men 97 and see if Mephisto maybe isn't that.
You think we're going to wait for the entire season to come out for that? Or are we going to do that episode?
Well, neither of us have seen it, so
I'm still rewatching like the original cartoon.
Right.
I know you were going to watch a recap, but I'm actually really enjoying the cartoon.
I might watch a few
because I think the episodes flow into the next episode very well, at least in season 1 so far. Oh, okay. So it's kind of like an ongoing story.
Yeah, I might watch a few episodes.
The animation, I will say, is rough.
It's from like 92.
Yeah, no, the animation's rough. But it still looks kind of badass. There's something about that old 90s animation. It's like, it looks really cool. I know the quality's like not technically great, but I love the way it looks.
Okay.
But I am excited to actually start watching X-Men 97 because I'm hearing great things about it.
Yeah, no, I've heard really good things, and that's exciting.
Even from like the Marvel naysayers.
Yeah.
So that's something.
That is something.
Yeah.
I saw. Okay. We were talking in the news about the new Thunderbolts logo.
Oh yeah.
And like how, so like the first one that they showed was much more comic booky, and then the one that they're doing now is like very fine.
Is it Helvetica?
It seems Helvetica. Yeah, it looks kind of Helvetica, or Arial. Right,
oh boy, can't wait to talk about the typography of
where it's all caps. They're kind of spread out letters, and people on Twitter were like, "Oh, this is so boring," and blah blah blah. And it's like, the only thing that made me think of is Christopher Nolan uses the same exact shit in every single one of his movies.
Everybody jizzes their pants about it.
Exactly. So how about we check that you have a bias here, right? Because like 1-to-1, they look identical. This looks like a Chris Nolan movie.
And if Chris Nolan made a Marvel movie, all you nerds would fucking shit yourselves.
So it's like, it's just a fucking typeface. And like sometimes that typeface works for the poster, right? Because fucking Tenet, all the way back to The Dark Knight, all of those movies, just look at his posters. They all look pretty much exactly the same. So
even Batman Begins.
Yeah, actually.
It was a very boring font, but it was inside of the Batman logo, so I mean, whatever. But
yeah, it's all caps and it's spread out.
Yeah.
They're all like that.
That's what serious movies do.
Exactly. So it's like, look, maybe Thunderbolts is trying to do that, but you can't call that boring.
But the asterisk there makes me think maybe they're making fun of the seriousness of it.
I'm down for that. Yeah, I think that'd be super smart.
I don't know though. But
yeah, that'd be super fun. So anyway, guys, thank you for listening. Thank you for supporting us on Patreon. You know where to find us. We'll be on a Discord server, and we'll see you guys next time with probably some X-Men 97. Yeah. Where's Mephisto, right?
When's the Acolyte come out? That's soon-ish, but
it's not till like June.
Oh, okay. We got a couple months on that. Okay.
Yeah, we got a trailer, but I remember it's not till like June.
Okay.
Yeah, so then Acolyte.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Stop recording.
All right.
What time is it? Midnight?
Yeah. We're about to be.
I'm gonna start closing stuff.
I don't know if Blake's even still here.
Nah.
He said he had to stay entertained while cooking. I don't know if he's listening to us.
He may be, but last time we were chit-chatting, and then we played GeoGuessr because we had like people in the chat.
We played GeoGuessr for like an hour.
Hell yeah.
I don't know if I got that steam in me tonight, though.
The last Airbender 4. Saving.
Yes.
Nice. And then I'm going to hit save one more time because I'm OCD. Before I close it.
So I kind of hit the perfect point to pause my Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. rewatch because I'm at the point where I need to watch Civil War before the next episode.
But they don't like tie in anymore, do they?
Oh, after Civil War, not really. Civil War is the last one because the Sokovia Accords are actually a really big part of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, are they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, the show goes way more into the Accords than any of the movies do, which is actually pretty cool. But I'm at that point where it's like, all right, I got to watch Civil War. I'm going to take a break and start watching X-Men.
Yeah.
Because, it's more current.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to rewatch that childhood series that I actually remember quite a bit of it from being a kid, too. Like, I'm watching, I'm like, I remember this.
I remember, like, certain parts. I remember, like, the Apocalypse episodes.
He shows up in, like, episode, 8 or 9.
Oh, yeah?
He shows up pretty soon. Yeah.
Huh. They have, like, a whole arc, though. For Apocalypse, and it's like it's a big deal. But yeah, I don't remember too much. Again, I watched it. I'm pretty sure I watched it.
I definitely watched it as a kid because I remember having the VHS tapes of them.
That's right, you told me.
Yeah.
I watched it in a language that I couldn't understand.
Oh yeah,
that'll
make things a little difficult to comprehend.
Right. It might be a thing where like I start watching it and like weird memories get triggered.
Like you're like, I remember seeing the scene, but I didn't know what the hell was going on.
Yeah, that'll feel weird. But I don't think I'm gonna watch all 5 seasons or 4 seasons or whatever it is.
The seasons aren't like, I think the first season only like 11 episodes. The second season's like, they're like weird numbered episodes. I think there's only like one season that's like 20 something episodes though.
There's so much shit to watch.
Because like it's 5 seasons and it's like what 75 episodes or something like that.
I have no idea.
I thought it
was like 100 episodes. I thought it was a lot.
It's 75, which is not
still a lot.
It's a lot if you're gonna like try and watch them quickly to catch up, but it's in the grand scheme of things, that's not a very long series. Though.
But like Avatar is like 60 something episodes,
right?
And Avatar is fairly short.
Avatar is exactly 60. It's 20 episodes per.
No, I think
book, right?
I think one of them's like 21 or something, and then one's like 19, and some random ones are doubles, and they get called one episode. So I don't know.
It's because the streaming services list them weird though.
Yeah.
Because some of them are like 2-parters, but it's listed as one episode on.
Because they were released on the same day.
Right. But they were 2 separate episodes.
Right.
In the Nickelodeon time slot.
Right.
Yeah.
But and we've talked about this like on Paramount Plus, which is the home of Avatar. Like that's the owner of the show. They don't do the previously on. They skip those.
Previously on Avatar.
Yeah, Roku like narrates those. That's not in any Paramount Plus. So you're saying
the best way to watch it is either Blu-ray or Netflix?
Maybe. Well, I mean, if that's important to you, if the previously on is important to you, then Netflix.
Getting all the content is what's important to me.
Well, I mean, the previously on is not any new information, especially if you're binging. Like, you don't really need to do that.
Yeah, but I kind of like it. Especially the music that plays during the previously on. It's so dramatic.
I don't fucking remember because I haven't seen one in a long time.
Why are you watching it on Netflix?
I'm watching on Paramount Plus.
You have Netflix.
Yeah, and there's always that annoying Paramount Plus
fuck Paramount Plus
commercial that comes on first.
Fuck Paramount Plus. Fuck the Halo show.
I bet you liked it.
I liked the first episode. And the second episode, it immediately went off the rails. I'm like, I don't like this anymore. You know what show was better than Halo? Twisted Metal.
Did you watch that?
I did. It was actually...
You watched all of it?
Yeah. I actually kind of liked it.
I didn't know you did that.
Yeah, I watched Twisted Metal.
You never mentioned it. Did Blake watch Twisted Metal all the way through because he was paid to?
I don't think he watched any of it. I don't think he watched a single episode. I don't even think he knows who's in it. Blake, I don't know if you're here, Blake, but did you know Nev Campbell's in Twisted Metal?
I don't think he did, else he would have mentioned it. He would have said something to us.
I know. Does Peacock know that that you didn't finish the series? They probably don't care. No. Have you seen the... I asked you this before, but I'm going to ask you again. Have you seen the trailer for Fallout yet?
No. I don't.
It looks like an enjoyable show. It looks like a good jumping on point for people that haven't played the games too, honestly.
I don't know what Fallout is.
It's just weird,
I know
post-apocalyptic.
It's a video game. Oh, no, I know what Fallout is.
Yeah.
It's the one with the cartoon boy.
The Volt Boy. And
yeah,
he's like,
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
No, but the show looks great, and what's his face in it? Walton Goggins is in it, and I love Walton Goggins because he's an incredible actor. He's got a very unfortunate hairline.
Yeah,
but he's an incredible actor. And he's got a great voice.
He makes it work for him.
He does.
Yeah. So you're saying I should watch that show?
I'm saying watch the trailer, see what you think.
There's so
I'm
much.
definitely gonna watch the
That's
show.
the thing, like I'm just getting stressed out with how much TV there is to watch. You know,
there's a lot of TV.
There's like you have to say no to stuff. You just can't watch everything.
Yeah, but you don't watch like anything.
I watch a lot of stuff. I'm watching a shit ton of.
You haven't even finished Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh, that's not on my radar at all. I'm watching Only Murders in the Building. I'm watching Avatar: The Last Airbender for.
You're rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender,
which is always important, and you know it.
I know.
So who cares if it's my fourth rewatch or whatever?
Then who cares if I'm rewatching Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for the third time?
Well, I mean, you watch more things than I do. I want to watch Ghostbusters Afterlife so I can go watch the new one.
Do you own Afterlife?
Probably.
I probably bought it when it came out.
Probably did.
Afterlife's good. I like the new Ghostbusters movies. I know the Ghostbusters fan base is very weird though because they hate everything that isn't the first movie, and some of them hate everything that isn't the first two movies, but most of them hate everything that isn't the first movie.
I was expecting to like hate the second one, and I thought it was fine. I had watched
with how much the second one gets shit on. Yeah.
Because I watched it for the first time since I was a child.
Yeah, it's not as good as the first one, but it's still enjoyable.
It's fine.
I love when he calls the mayor dickless.
Well, that's in the first one.
Oh, that's in the first one, yeah. This,
whoops. There's some good jokes.
I like
in the
when the
second
Statue of Liberty walks around, and it's really corny, but I love it.
That's the second one.
That's the second one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And then that little music montage when everything's going wrong with the red slime and stuff.
Yeah, and like the whole city turns into ghosts and stuff. That's pretty fun.
It's fun. The second one's a lot of fun. I think the first one's a much better story, but
yeah, the second one's I don't think is that bad.
No, it's a little kooky, but I mean that's Ghostbusters.
Right.
Yeah. Also, I'm pretty sure the Casper movie is canon to the Ghostbusters universe.
Yeah, if you want it to be. Yeah.
It absolutely could be.
Dan Aykroyd's in it.
Weren't we doing Casper? Didn't we add that to our list? Because Casper was a comic. I discovered that.
Yeah.
I think it was a comic before it was a cartoon.
I was going to say, they didn't do a one and done because then they did Casper and Wendy.
And then they did, I think there was a third one too. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah. They do for Halloween.
That could be a fun one to do.
Yeah. Because then also like The Crow's coming out, and that's 4 movies.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that at all.
But we have to.
No part of me wants to do The Crow.
You don't like the original Crow?
Never seen it.
You don't want to see it?
I don't know. It doesn't look interesting.
It's a cult classic.
I know. And then we can talk about.
And we can talk about how the sequels just don't live up to it.
What's his name died? Jet Li's kid.
Oh yeah.
Or not Jet Li's kid.
Bruce Lee's kid. Brandon Lee.
Brandon Lee. Yeah.
No, that might be good Halloween content.
Yeah, I mean the new Crow movie's coming out this year.
Oh shit.
The one with
But when? Is it before Halloween? It probably is.
I think it might be before Halloween.
Fuck.
It's with the guy, what's his name? It's the guy who was in It.
The Skarsgård guy.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see that the original creator of The Crow is like, "Oh, I'm not a fan of this."
Oh, the new one?
Yeah.
Why?
He thinks it kind of like shits on like Brandon Lee's legacy.
Oh. I mean, they made more Crow movies after Brandon Lee died.
I don't think the original creator was involved with those either, though.
Okay. Well,
or the original director. I think he probably doesn't like those either, honestly.
I mean, it's one of the 2 instances where like, and there's probably been a lot more, but the 2 most famous
high profile,
yeah, where like a prop gun went wrong.
Oh, yeah, because it was Brandon Lee, and then recently, when Alec Baldwin accidentally shot the director of photography,
something like that. Yeah, which I think he's like he was either like acquitted or is being tried. Well,
I don't think he should be like.
I
think he's getting more shit than he should be getting.
I mean, it's a very delicate situation.
Right, but also it's like you're like, oh, he should have checked the weapon. I'm like, but the prop master handed him the weapon.
Well, but it's worse than that because like he uses the props in his fits of rage because he's like kind of a shitbag. Well, and so like he points the guns at people.
Bang, bang, bang.
Yeah, for like for like effect. and you should never treat. Okay, rule number 1 is treat every weapon like it's
right. That's
loaded.
That's the rule of handling weapons. Yes.
Right. So it's like, it's one thing when they go through all the procedures for the shoot and whatever. Even then, they should be taking precaution. On top of under no circumstances should he just be playing with it.
He's definitely acting irresponsibly, but also it's weird because it's not supposed to be a load. Why would there even be a loaded gun on set? That's the thing.
Okay, but that's the thing. Apparently, they were playing with it, in between shoots.
Well, I don't think he was.
No, someone else was.
Yeah.
There's a lot of
they went shooting with it. It's like what?
So it's I don't think that's a murder or even a manslaughter, but there's a lot of negligence, and I feel like Alec Baldwin is complicit in that.
In the negligence, yes, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
But
that could come with jail time, and that'd be fine. He's not a murderer.
No, he's not a murderer. I wouldn't even, like you said, I wouldn't even consider it manslaughter.
Okay, take the movie aspect out of it, right, and celebrities out of it. If you went to a gun range, and a gun trainer handed you a gun and said it's not loaded, and you
hey, bam,
and you pointed it at me and that's manslaughter,
right?
You know what I'm saying? So it's what's the difference?
It's such a weird situation. It really is.
Yeah, there's so many pieces to it, but it's even for the shoot, they shouldn't be pointing the gun at people. They should be pointing it slightly askew and using camera angles.
Right.
If it's a real gun. And now it's brought up the conversation of they should actually build props, because for most times they use real guns on set and they fire blanks.
Right.
But
my thing is, the prop. Why are there even real bullets anywhere near the set? That's crazy.
But why are they real guns also?
That's true.
Because
it's cheaper.
It's cheaper,
yeah.
But that's a high risk that you're putting a real gun on set.
Right.
Because
it had already previously happened with Brandon Lee.
Well, the Brandon Lee one, there's a lot of conspiracy about it.
Maybe somebody planted it.
Well, because there was there's a theories that there was gang foul play. That was
Brandon Lee involved in any gang?
I don't remember the specifics, but either it was triads or there was other gangs.
But
involved.
somebody swat something out, and
there's reason to believe that there was foul play involved in that.
Okay.
Whereas this one is just a series of misfortunate events, so right?
The end result is the same, but they are very different situations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's complicated.
The Brandon Lee one might be murder.
I think. No, exactly.
Yeah.
It could actually be murder.
Right.
But my point is we've had, I don't know, dude, there's so many fun prop innovations. So it's crazy to me. I follow a prop master on TikTok, and he goes through all this really cool shit that they invent on the spot for movies and stuff. Things like fake ice, fake beer, fake glass, fake paper. So that it doesn't make noise if it gets crumbled.
I learned about that actually in the Office Ladies podcast because they used a lot of that.
Oh, yeah. So it doesn't make noise.
Yeah. Because otherwise it'd be...
Yeah, all the time. And it fucks everything up. So the one I saw is he showed a grocery bag, like a brown paper bag.
They do fake bags too, so they don't make noise.
So they don't crumple.
No rustling or... Yeah.
And it's basically made out of foam. So it doesn't make any noise, but it looks real. They do go through all these extreme lengths to make these crazy props, and yet for guns they're no, just go buy a real gun.
Just go grab a gun.
Just go to the pawn shop.
We can keep it afterwards.
Yeah, buy a gun, and we just won't load it. It just won't be loaded. No big deal. It's no, it is a big deal. People could die. It's incredibly risky. Why is that the thing that they're not going to build a prop of? And so now there's all this conversation about all these prop guns that they're now building. Well, that look real, sound real.
They probably should have done that in the first place.
Exactly. But there's no chamber, there's no way of loading it. It's not a real gun.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, where's that energy?
What happened to cap guns? You remember cap guns?
I loved my cap guns. I played Cowboys and Indians.
It was a different time.
It was a different time. I didn't record any of this shit.
Damn. We have the...
I want to make audiograms. Fuck.
We're live.
No, I know, but I can't make audio. It doesn't matter. I probably wasn't gonna anyway.
This is just us bullshitting.
I know. No, but I'm saying even for the I recorded it audio, but I didn't take the video. I usually do both.
What about does the VOD not work for that?
I mean,
or it's not as good.
Yeah, it's just. I mean, I guess it does. It's like lower bit rate, and
that's okay.
I have to download it. It's a whole.
Oh no, you have to download it instead of recording it.
To do more things. Yeah, it's a lot of work, Berto. You don't understand.
The downloading part isn't. That's just the click of a button.
Shut up. All right, are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm tired.
All right, bye, you guys.
Bye.
Thank you for being a part of the stream. We're gonna stream again next week. What's your schedule? You know what? I meant to do this because you sent me like your month schedule, and we should have just built a schedule based on that, so we're not just kind of like figuring out when we go live.
I got my new schedule today. I gotta look at it though.
Oh, can you send it to me? And then we can maybe go and be like, all right, this week we'll do Tuesday. This week we'll do Wednesday.
I am out of town.
And we can figure that out also.
One of the weeks. I actually might be able to record that week because I might be here like that Monday. But like the first week of April, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah. My new job, at least for the first bit, is early, so I'll be out. But then we just can't do super late anymore. Like back when we
should try. We should try to not do that anyway.
Yeah. Like remember my last job, it was like we were starting. Now we're starting at like 9:30.
Right.
So we really
maybe go back to starting at like 8:30.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Yeah, it'd probably be smart. Yeah. So we'll just. And that's just a matter of just having.
Well, what made that difficult with your last job too is you weren't getting home till like 6 or 6:30. So it'd be like
that shouldn't be the case anymore, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see how it goes.